What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we leave and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else. What if we stay? What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we leave and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else. What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we leave and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else.
Got a monster inside of me, you better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead, a full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets caused real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Loves the blood and gore, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel the force of hard in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness, torn apart quick. You left scars ripped, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
Welcome to LXC.
And the ranks rise up, League of Legends pride. Amateurs unite in LXC lights. Crusader League we fight, champions by our side. Emerald dreams ignite our night. LXC we play, Emerald all the way. Victory in sight, shining in the night.
Or Aerodactyl again.
Ooh, actually,
Teleport is coming
out.
into the pit. That's a crazy teleport to go for. Zelda guy is also going to ult it, but the health bars are low from the Baron. Bullet time just to zone out off of Jarvan. Jarvan will go down
Is dead
here.
though.
Mike is still alive in the pit. Might of Noxus is not very tanky, so he will go down. Zelda guy also dies to the side, and I believe this is a
Base in the background.
for Panda fighters. Russian in trouble again. He misses though, and it means that you get grounded by the W. Nocturne ult is coming in. There's no
Nocturne
movement
might be a
ability
little
for
too
Aurora
far
with no
forward. No phase in
mana.
a horrible position.
Rakan has so much ability to engage here. Maybe Cleanse is very good. Vi ult comes out. They pick up a caution flash up from Kaisa. Vi is still looking for something. Those two people are too low health. Squigs is trying to frontline by himself. It's working. He does pick up Vi. And at the end of the day, I think he was like 3 for 1.
There's a here, but there's no. Vey is still dead.
This is really risky. I don't know if Aurora can teleport in because the counter teleport is pretty hard. Mike is coming in. Boom.
great
Renata
because-
ult is massive. Zanyas is good though. Rakan trying to stall out. If
You
Kaisa
have to kill
can live,
Striker.
it's so big. Striker is so alive, but versus 4 people, there's no way that works. They get the soul. They have 4 people to 1. This series is absolutely done.
Champions rise in the night. Power flows through neon light. Summoner's rift, we take the dive. In the LXC we come alive. We strategize 5 on 5. Pushing lanes, we've got the drive. Nexus falls, it's all a race. In the LXC we find our place. Feel the beat of destiny. In the LXC we're wild and free. League of dreams, our legacy. We fight till dawn in harmony.
Hello everyone, welcome to LXC Winter Split Crusader quarterfinals. We are in best of 5 territory. We're going to be watching Clown Blood Moon versus Goon Squad. I'm here, Scarlet. I'm here with Launches today. Hello, Launches. How are
Hello.
you?
Doing pretty good. This game, this is of course single eliminations, for the loser of this best of 5 will be out. So of course, high stakes game.
Speaking of high stakes game, I'm getting news that we might be delaying it. So we have a bit to talk about, I guess. Not a whole day or anything, just a little bit. So we're gonna be talking about the teams for a little bit, maybe, oh man, that's fun. Anyways, Clown Gaming have side selection. I have no idea if they've chosen side yet, or Clown Blood Moon, yeah. And these teams are, of course, from different parts of Crusader. So they haven't played or anything, Sector 1 and Sector 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's kind of interesting because I don't believe this will be the first time the sectors are meeting, I believe. Let me look at the schedule exactly for playoff. I guess there was last week for the play-ins. Was that cross-sector play?
Well,
Um,
we did have the cross sector play day as well.
mm. Okay, so there's been some crossover, but you know, it's not exactly clear which sector was stronger per se. Just everyone has their own opinion, you know? And like, yeah, there might have been 1 or 2 days. Um, and I believe that I am getting word that the games will start at X15, so in 12 minutes. So, we're gonna be talking for a little bit, I guess. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do actually is do a little bit of intro just to get you guys hype, and then, a big break. So that'll be fun. Sorry about the false start, but just to be clear, these two teams are cross sector. Quarterfinals is best of 5. I believe that it has no loser bracket from here.
Mm-mm.
So
Single elimination.
basically every team has to win out, and it's quarterfinals, so 8 teams all the way to finals. Um, and that's basically how Crusader works. So we're gonna come back with Cloud Gaming Bun Moon versus NO, a Goon squad, after a bit longer of a break than
Mm-hmm.
normal, but we will be back.
The night is young, we go, it's strong till dawn. Up all night till the morning comes, we love it so. We go, it's strong for more. Let's get it on and rave all night long. We're the party pioneers. We will bring the fire when we go for a ride. Party pioneers. Things are going well, 'cause we are the party pioneers. Party pioneers. Party pioneers. I don't wanna be without you. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I don't wanna be without you. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be without you. I don't wanna be. All the barricades, I wanna know why they hold me back. Need a miracle to break me through, but I won't get that. If I wasn't real, wonder, then I could save me from turning around. Lift me off the ground, and one day I'm free. Yeah, I wanna be a real wonder. Heaven lift me up from under. Wishing I could be somehow stronger now, so I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds
come and show it. Tell me what you feel in your heart and your soul. There's nothing I would take for granted. With me, we'll make it through. Takes two hearts to fix heartbreak. We grew apart, I made a mistake, but I'll try to make it up to you, my darling. Ooh.
I wanna be a real one day. Heaven leaves me up from under. Wishing I could be somehow stronger now,
So I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me.
wish that I could be
Stronger, so I can be a real one day. So I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me.
wish that I could be stronger, so I can be a real one day.
We keep running faster and faster. I don't know what we're after, yeah. We keep up with disaster, disaster. I'm thinking that they're after me. We're running like faster and faster. We're running like faster and faster. We keep running faster and faster. I don't know what we're after, yeah. We keep up with disaster, disaster. I'm thinking that they're after me. We're running like faster and faster. We're running like faster and faster.
Hello, everyone. Back to LXC Crusader quarterfinals. I'm just gonna repeat some of the intro because, here we are. We're
We're
watching
back.
Cloud Gaming Blood Moon versus Goon Squad. And obviously they delayed the game and they were upfront about that a while ago. It just didn't quite get through to everyone. So we are gonna get into game one. People are filing in. And thank you all for your patience, of course. Appreciate that for sure. But I see at least 8 of the players here, so I think we are actually going to get into draft and everything. And they did say they were going to start at 8:15 for the local time of the league. So yeah, it looks like they're going to start draft pretty soon.
Yeah. Now, speaking of drafts, looking at what each player wants to be playing here, kind of looking at this top lane pick, especially for 20. Will they be picking out that Quinn? I know they've been doing pretty well on Quinn, at least in solo queue. So, well, who doesn't want to see a bird fly?
Right?
Everywhere around the map, being everywhere all at once. Having the ultimate to be getting, oh, here top lane. Actually, I'm bot lane now. And actually, you missed me. I'm mid lane. Actually, I'm in your base and I flew out again. You never
Yeah, exactly. It is interesting to see what goes on mid lane because you know, um, it's kind of one of those lanes that you can play just a lot of. I remember back in the day. Okay, maybe this is a little far back, but whenever like Dyrus and whoever the mid laner was at the time, was it Reginald? They switched lanes because they wanted to have the mid or Dyrus be in the middle of the team on the seeding roster, and they just always like went mid lane and top lane, but they switched roles or whatever. It's
It
just
would have been
one
that
of
would have
those.
bane TSM with Reginald and Dyrus. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so long ago. It just was so weird. But the point is that mid laners can be whatever they want at the end of the day. It's really just about being in the middle of your team and being able to see monitors to your left and right or something.
I mean, yeah, you have that advantage, uh, at least when you're in person. Here, not as much. I don't think these teams will be
Okay,
in the
so
same group. And
so I think one of the players is patching. And we need all players to be available. I don't believe we're gonna get to a point where it's going to be considered late because the um the official ruling is 10 minutes after match start is where the first ban is lost. And the official match start time, even if the stream wasn't aware at time, was 6 minutes ago. So they have 4 additional minutes until the first ban is lost. And then we are going to have to talk about ban losses and then potentially match losses. But I believe everyone is available. It's just a patch being applied to a client. So that will be what we're waiting on for draft. So we get a little bit of additional time to talk, I guess. Speaking of patch, there was a patch. Obviously, as part of why we're waiting.
yeah,
Anything interesting that you read in it? Because
Mm,
I noticed this Neferi champion, I believe. Oh, actually, I don't know what
man,
LXC did because I know. Yeah,
it is
okay. So
banned.
Neferi's
So
global
so we
ban.
don't even get to see this new and also fancy Nefiri that I think is very broken and was actually just pick and pro play 30 minutes ago because it was very strong. And you, of course, you pretty much have invincibility for
Well, we'll
consistently.
have to talk about that after playoffs because I'm pretty sure for every league, then Neferi is going to be banned for the entirety of playoffs, which is kind of similar to where I'm not sure if it was Mel or the last one for LXC. I think Mel was where it was mixed and they all voted on it. But for the one before the Smolder, I can't remember who it was in playoffs. It was banned the entire time. So
Hmm.
Deferi will be banned the entire time. I'm assuming for playoffs. And that is unfortunate, but also probably fortunate to be honest, because yeah, like you said, it's a little unbalanced for
Yeah,
sure.
also, we might probably won't be seeing as much Darius jungle, right? His damage modifier on monsters did go from 300% to 200%, so his clear's gonna be a little slower now, and he's probably not gonna be as strong as he can be. We also did see, small nerfs around. This patch had a lot of nerfs, a lot of buffs, but like really small. Like Garen's nerf was 20. The damage on his critical strike for his spin to win went from 135 to 150. So the amount that things were changed were not as much. And then you see Gwen and every ability was changed, but we don't have to look at that. I don't think many teams will be playing Gwen in these games. If they
You never
do,
know.
we never
Yeah,
know. But
I saw a Smolder buff. I'm not happy. No offense to Smolder players. I really enjoy
oh
Smolder in
no, no, it's
solo
fine.
queue, but
I saw the Smolder buffs and casted Smolder yesterday, and it was you know Smolder does absolutely nothing for uh the entire game about till about 25 minutes, and then poof, whoa, he's a champion. Oh, he actually stomps all of you guys. Actually,
Mhm.
it's not the best, but you know it's Smolder. What are you gonna do? Uh, I mean, Master Yi was just chains, armor growth. We won't see Master Yi, even though I'd love to see him, see what people can do on Master Yi. Just kind of run around, Q, run around Q again. But you know, I don't know. A lot of the changes here, I don't think are going to be too meta changing, right? Minus Nefiri, but in this case, don't have to worry about Nefiri. So
Mhm.
not too many changes. Only one I'm a little
All right, well, one
sadder
change I have
about
to
is.
announce is that in 30 seconds, and I'm pretty sure the player isn't here, we are going to be seeing a ban loss for Clown Gaming
Mhm,
for game one. So that will be on the books. As I think there's a tech issue or something.
mhm,
So yeah, I'm pretty sure unless he gets here in the next 5 seconds, that will officially be one ban loss, which is unfortunate, but rules are rules for a reason, and it's respectable because again, it does suck as a player setting up for a best of five, and you have to start 10 minutes late. And obviously, it's not always in the player's control, but it's one ban loss, little slap on the wrist. If we
mhm,
get to more than that, that's whenever things get a little bit more, oof.
mhm.
But let's not get there, right?
Yeah, no. There I was saying before, the only one I'm a little sadder about for the or the change is Jin, where it's not as many fours, right? They increased his
They didn't take a four from
bonus
Jin.
bonus AD from 0.3% to 0.35%. Didn't want to go that extra point 4, you know. So,
I
and
don't
of
know.
course, his worst nerf was nerfing his blue essence from 4444 to only 2222.
Yeah, I don't know. Does the Riot Balance team really know what they're doing if they're making Jin not have as many fours as possible? I need to write a letter to my local representative at Riot because of this change.
It is unacceptable. My immersion has been ruined.
hmm And it's kind of interesting because I feel like, for blue side, it's not as bad to lose a ban, so maybe it'll be okay for Clown Gaming. But they definitely don't want to be giving up 2 bans, so
Hmm.
hopefully the player will be here within the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And if not, we'll just keep talking about Jin and other things.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be here
Uh,
within the next 4 minutes, I mean. Let me just
hmm. I
correct
mean,
myself.
well, if we really want, we got. How have you been liking Demon's Hand? Have you played?
Um,
Have you played League of Balatro yet?
I actually didn't. I looked at the rewards and said, whatever, I don't care. It looks like fine. Usually I do loot a little mini games. I just haven't this time, but it did look a little fun. I mean, I saw someone else play it. It was fine. Did you go through it with playing it? Was it pretty
Yeah,
fun?
it was actually very fun. Uh, I didn't. I never played Balatro, but everyone says Balatro. It's just poker. I've played enough
It's
poker in my
poker.
life,
Yeah.
so it's fun. It's poker, and if you've ever played Balatro, it's pretty much the exact same rules as Balatro, with just same as poker hands, but then you have the jokers here and just runes. We get little buffs and everything, and turns and health and all of that. It's a pretty fun game mode. Take about an hour time or so, maybe a little less. But if you're good at it, 30 minutes. You probably can get
All
rid of
right.
that
So
all 3
I have
maps
an
in 30
update
minutes.
for the players. There's a blue screen on the player that can't get in here, who can't load Vanguard. So I think we're gonna throw it to another break, and when we come back, we'll go
No.
into draft with probably 2 bans gone. But the player is available. Their computer's not cooperating. So we will get into game one draft tonight, hopefully soon. After a little bit of a break. So we'll be back.
scene. Portraits seem to fade. He lost his centerpiece. Can't recall his face. I hope he'll rest in peace. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine. Take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Everything is fine. Take me to my grave. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine. Take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything.
Hello, everyone, and luckily we get in right after the second ban is taken away, but we are into draft right now. Kale will be the first ban for an OGS, and it's kind of funny at this angle where they have to ban two things away with no information, but the enemy team only gets one ban, so yeah, you'll take it. It's just kind of funny that all your draft prep is a little awkward here. But they're going to ban Kale for the first ban, and then Viego, and now Clown gets to interact with the draft, and they will ban away Poppy.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I was on the for some reason it was a wrong draft link for me. There we go. Now I'm back, and they're gonna bring
I'll
out that
just
Kale.
tell you what it
And
is.
yeah, I see it now. I'm here now. I see the Viego ban and Thresh ban, right? Definitely targeted bans against Clown, right? They're not really that big in the meta, right? But especially getting them off of champions that they're comfortable on is probably your best bet, especially it's kind of elo, right? But we do see that Jinx pick, right? Great with the passive, great with Jinx getting excited, being able to kind of 1v9 late game, assuming she just gets that single reset. It's hard to, but if she can, steamrolls everyone.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting to blind pick it on blue because there are a lot of answers to it you can bring pretty early. Cypher's not one that I would think of, although you can kind of say it's an answer in that I'm just going to try to outscale you and play better in the late game team fights because both of us have a kind of weird laning phase where Cypher's a bit of a bully, but maybe wouldn't. I mean, Cypher could probably kill a Jinx with the right support, so we'll see what Goon Squad go with here because I think that's really going to depend on the support in lanes. Just
Mhm.
I do feel like Sivir can do both roles, kind of like Jinx, but a little bit more stronger in lane. A Moo also picked, which
I
I feel
mean,
like a Moo has
ooh,
been staple to MF, but right now it is obviously with a Sivir, which I still like though. But
yeah,
what do you
it's
think
not
of a Moo pick?
it's not bad, right? It is available for both the jungle and support pick, right? You can really jump in there, get hits, and I'm assuming that if this is support, they really want to have the Mumu jump in, be able to get the okay, Gwen people.
Mhm.
I'll get to that in a sec. But the Mumu pick, being able to get in, bandage toss, ult, get the Sivir boomerang double hit on, right? Get a couple more auto attacks in. Maybe get that if Sivir is going to be building Kraken Slayer this game, get that third hit in, get some more damage in, right? But this Gwen pick, I love how right in the beginning I said that Gwen probably not
I
going to get
was gonna
picked.
bring that up.
And Gwen gets picked, and I am not reading that entire patch note because every single one of her abilities, her passive damage changed. I think is what it was.
Whoa. Swain also locked in, which is kind
Jericho
of
locked in.
interesting.
I'm gonna take it. I am a Swain enjoyer. I think he's pretty good. I'm assuming that's support. I don't think they're gonna be playing Swain mid, but if they do, ooh,
It's
right.
definitely a
But
flex.
Swain coming out and having his pool, right, being able to have that drain, get Hollow Radiance against this Amumu right now. makes it so that he can heal so much, maybe even build. Oh, it's a little unconventional, but like a Rift Maker. Then you can just heal up the entire damage that's done, and your sustain is just so much.
Now, I do kind of like the Syndra in that you have the Amumu, which with the Sivir kind of says you want to go all in, and then Clown have a Swain, which makes that a little bit harder. So something like Syndra, if it is a Swain mid, we'll be able to answer that okay, but also kind of diversify your threat ratio, where maybe Amumu's more like a pick comp rather than a go in AoE kind of comp that Swain could probably do well into. And it looks like Goon Squad also believe it's a Swain mid, not only with the Syndra pick, but also banning Nautilus unless they're taking away the boss. Well, I mean, there's Gwen showing as well, which could be jungle. So I don't know. There's a lot of lines here, but they're banning Nautilus, and I think that's for support.
I mean, we have seen that Nautilus top lane with the Baus having played it in the EMA Masters, did lose to KC in that game, but we also have seen a couple and other small regions in pro play with that Nautilus top lane, right? We did see the Nautilus mid lane last year at MSR. We Sorry, 2023 MSI. We saw that mid lane Nautilus right by Caps and Faker, and people started picking it up. But
Okay,
really,
Leona,
looking
Leona,
at the
Leona, I got
sustain,
you.
yeah,
This is a
there,
support ban.
that's a support fan. I'm not, don't really see too many Leona out of lanes here. I mean, there was that Leona mid lane meta, I think, at one point where she just went full damage and was able to CC him so much, where he had good auto attacks, but it was very niche meta right there. But looks like they are assuming that this is a Swain mid or Swain top lane, right? Having that Gwen go top or jungle, and not having to pick. I mean, at this point, could just pick the Swain, right? You have your top and mid lane, no bans, right? So you still can pick it, but
Oh, Nami.
Amumu jungle then. This does lock in that Amumu jungle, having that Nami support, which isn't too bad, right? Being able to have, because Sivir is more of that auto attack champion, being able to have
Yo.
the E from Nami to do more damage, right? But Galio.
I mean, I don't know if this is locked in, but it would lead credence to your Swain support theory. Obviously, that could be. I mean, there's so many flexes here because obviously Gwen could also
Mm-hmm.
jungle. All we know is Jinx is going bot lane right now, and is likely laning with something that traditionally would go mid lane. Now they do have to lock in their fifth and final champion here, so that will definitely give us some information. I think they're going to lock in an actual jungler. I don't think it's Gwen jungle, but I could be wrong.
Brand. Bring back the Brand jungle, but then they have way too much AP. But
Okay, well, that's Aatrox top, and that means one of these champions on my screen is going to be support. I think you're right that it's Swain,
I think
but
it's
it's
Swain
kind of
support, Galio mid, Aatrox top lane, Gwen jungle. That is my assumption here because I really don't
mhm.
see any of the other champions going jungle. So Gwen is kind of forced jungle, and I really don't think I'm going to be putting that Aatrox mid lane against a Swain. So have because Galio can build that Hollow Radiance first item, and that
Ooh,
you
that's
have
pretty
that.
spicy.
Garen was barely nerfed in the latest patch notes, so picking up Garen's not too bad, right? Really stop that Aatrox damage that can come through with his silent, right? Being able to Q the Aatrox, Q the Galio, make sure you can't do much, right? And maybe even Q the Gwen while in her stasis, so that Garen can just spin to win, push
Mhm.
Demacia, and Gwen goes poof.
All right, so we will update you with exactly where everyone's going, but I believe you're right. The only question in my mind is that technically Galio could go support, but I do believe that it's Galio locked in because you see the Amumu Syndra doing so much magic damage in that mid lane, having that defensive capability, plus being able to be that front line is super powerful with all of the gold that you get from the mid lane. So we'll 100% see. As Champ Select is obviously going to take a while because Con Gaming have to do a no ban for a little bit.
Hmm.
But other than that, I like the lanes for Goon Squad for sure. The team fight seems to have like a definite, plan. But for Clown, I mean, obviously it depends on where they put things. I'm just wondering if this Gwen is going to be effective. I know she just got buffed for jungle. That was kind of what I got from the patch
Hmm.
notes that were a novel.
Yeah, I
But
did read that one place.
she does also have a lot of AP on her team, though she does true damage. She's got CC set up with all of her lanes. But it is gonna be the most question mark I get from not question mark as in like missing ping, but more like question mark of like this has a high variation of how good will this Gwyn jungle do.
Hmm.
How well will this Gwyn jungle perform in this specific setup? I do think she's pretty good into something like Syndra and Mumu. However, I'm wondering how she will perform in the first few ganks.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Now, this really is a protect. It kind of is a protect the president comp, right? Jinx is gonna be doing a lot of damage for this team. I mean, you have pretty much three fighters, bruisers, depending on how you build Swain, tank, right? So you have a lot of ways to kind of protect the Jinx. But I think it's funny because then you have Gwen, where she just goes into her Hollow Mist and can actually kill the Jinx if something comes up, like if the Syndra maybe hits some of the hits, or maybe block or a Mumu misses the hook onto Gwen and hits the Jinx. So there's definitely ways to have some fun as the Gwen if you want to troll your own ADC. But I mean, in this game, I mean, yeah, the Gwen can do damage, the Aatrox can do damage, right? But you really are looking at your Jinx and hoping that she can get the reset on that, and maybe even that Nami, right? Kind of the squishiest on that side. Kill the Nami, get the reset, and then just start putting in those rockets into Syndra, into Sivir, and then eventually into Mumu, into Garen, and kind of get a pentakill. You never know.
Alright, well, I do have confirmation as Gwyn jungle, Galio mid, Swain support with the
Hmm.
Jinx. So we're gonna throw it to one last final break, I promise. And then we will get into game one of Clown versus Nox.
It's fine, take me to my grave, bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. I never see the lights out. They get me overdrive. Fancy on a fast car. This is how you make me feel. Don't stress me now. I got the overdose. I'm feeling it in my bones. And if you say that I'm lying to you, these habits are killing me. I wish I could fall asleep. The problem is you. I got the overdose. Oh, you are my overdose.
All right, everyone, welcome to game 1 of Clown versus Goon Squad. We're here, we're on the Rift. People are clicking buttons, it's happening, and there's a level 1 potentially happening. There's a lot of CC here for Clown Gaming, so I appreciate this, but it's spotted out immediately.
Badger
Badger will
got
back
first
off.
hit. Let's go. What first hit of the
Wait,
game, guys?
Badger
Now,
with a Mana Flow Bond stack, and that's what
Ooh,
matters to me. That's why I
this
love mid laners. Once they get that
Phase
Mana
Rock
Flow
Rush.
Bond stack, I just like have something to talk about. There you go, 50 mana plus for the lane.
Nah, but you need 3 for face rush though.
Okay, so you can see the wards are kind of interesting. There's some nice cross map. Oh, I don't think Sivir has mana flow ban, so I don't even care. Oh wait, this ward could go down. Oh, it's deep warded. So it
Yeah.
will stay. It also had 2
So
health, so it's fine.
they will. Was it the team name? Yeah, Clown Gaming. Yeah, Clown Gaming is unbelievable. There it is. Clown Gaming will at least guarantee knowing where Ina is, just because they have wards on both the red and blue buff, so that's gonna be important. However, I thought it was. They don't have vision on the Gwen though. I guess they do have the one vision near Raptor Pit
They'll
that they
find
can
out.
check, but they
Yeah,
don't
they'll
have it in
find out
top
pretty
lane. So
quickly, I think, because I think that will last until Gwen goes to Raptors.
it
Actually,
should,
it probably
yes.
won't, because I think she's gonna go Krug second. So
Krug
they
second
might
should
not
be it,
actually
and
know.
it actually might go down soon.
Hmm.
Got about 20 seconds left in the ward, so it'll go down. But I mean, in these lanes, I don't think anything special is gonna happen too much. I mean, bot lane has a 4 CS lead. It's not that much, but at least hey, it's always good to have something.
I mean, I think it's more the level lead. As you can see, top lane, the level lead has led to Super Slaying and get a nice Q off. And bot lane, Jinx has to be quite a ways back, and Nami gets a nice auto attack there. So yeah, Jinx will probably equalize that CS. I think it's like literally 5 there, which would equalize it. Tower takes 1 though, -1. As
Knockdown
mid
comes
lane
in.
humor, yeah, I think Badger will be okay for now, but that lane setup is not where you want to be at Syndra for sure.
Yeah, and you should as range. Ooh, 420. Spin
I
to
mean,
win.
this is kind of interesting because I feel like Garen can kind of just sustain through these trades, but I'm ready to jump in if things get a little more heated.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, this mid lane, I think you'd think, oh, Syndra wins. She's ranged, but the thing is if Galio can jump in, get that knock-up as well, get the knock-up onto Badger, there's just so much damage that can come out really quickly that Syndra really can't respond right. Can die pretty quickly. Might have to flash out if another one comes in, but ooh. some more
I think
damage.
this fight is pretty big because 420 has to walk out of the root. It looks like it'll be okay for now, but both junglers are in the area. I'm just not sure. Oh, bot lane, however,
Artemis
Artemis
might be dead,
is
though.
trapped right now. He will live for now. First one goes out. That means to get excited for Resilient. And that means Saver has to walk away. If Nami lives there, not only obviously is the gold different, but I believe that Onset can pressure a lot more without getting excited. Meanwhile, mid lane Humor gets onto Badger. Taunt also happens. Gwyn is on the way. And Badger absolutely has to give up all lane position right now.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel good for the Sivir, right? Giving 300 gold over to Jing is getting that early pressure here. Yeah, we're pressing in lane, but oh,
This
might
is
be
a dive
battlefield.
attempt over here, though. There is summoners for Aatrox. Tries to make sure Garen can't do anything. Is tanking tower for Amumu. Flash in onto that. That's 2 tower shots. I think Super Saiyan just got 2 kills.
Tyro!
And yeah, the dive attempt does not go as planned. Nami even roamed up here to try to get follow-up pressure. But without your top-end jungler, what is Nami going to do other than place a control ward and heal up Badger? And walk the shame walk back to bot lane.
That was something because if you saw that, because Amumu had his W going out, took tower very early, was not even half health at the time, and Garen was walking away, so wasn't even getting that damage off early. So just kept taking turret damage when they really shouldn't have. Should be
Oh,
a flash
Resilient
up to
kind of
do so.
overstayed here. Has to flash. And that's kind of awkward because I feel like the extra 300 gold was gifted to him, well, to support. And yet, lane position has not been able to be handled well. Staying here is really, really aggressive as well. He wants that cannon gold. This root comes out, and Artemis is flashing in, gets the kill, and that'll be a 1-for-1. But not only that, Onset will be able to crash this
Watch
in.
Gwen
You can
as
see
well.
Gwen is going to
He's
try
in
to
the
prevent
area.
the crash from happening. Flash in, root, no spell shield available, so this will be a kill on Onset. And the
I think they're
dragon
gonna
being
have to
started
drop
also.
Do they have to stop drop dragon at this point? I mean, I think they're just too committed onto it that they won't be rotating down. The question is, will Gwen get vision on this dragon here or dash in?
Oh,
Gonna
just
straight
say
up
dashes
here.
in! I'm not sure if she knew that was actually happening. Burpee is going to queue in.
There's a level
Red
difference,
team
though.
gets it with Syndra. Queues in onto a Swain
have
as well.
pool.
Burpee is running for his life. The sweepers go out. I believe he will die to 1Q here from, but the flash out means that he will be safe for Burpee World. They get the dragon, and all it costs them technically is a Moo Flash. And they get the kill on I mean, they don't get the kill, sorry. But they get the dragon, so I guess it's worth it. It just felt a little awkward.
Yeah, the thing is now they will be. No, it looks like a move back, so they can actually go for the grubs here, right? Try to get that second stack of feats, just because they did lose that first feats to Clown Gaming, because they did get, of course, the first 3 kills. You got a lot more than just the first 3 kills, but ooh.
Resilient going for an aggressive trade here whenever Nami is available, and I guess the idea is to prevent a dive, but I don't know, you're kind of taking 2 steps back with that 1 step forward. Because I think dive is possible anytime Moo wants to. Especially since Swain is committing for the grubs.
I mean, that Q coming in, it's just 2 Qs from the Amumu was able to get, or not the Amumu, sorry, the Aatrox, able to get a lot here. But at least there is a turret, a tower plating going
Galio's
over
walking
to
down.
Onset here. But, yeah, Onset's gonna
Galio's walking down and Mumu's walking down. I think Mumu's gonna find them though. And that might redirect everyone. Resilient still wants to stay in lane though.
Yeah, trying to get as much gold as the Jinx can, right? Having the boots, doing pretty well, especially with that the bullet time passive. Of course, after 3, every hit gives you a little more attack speed. So having that boots, just getting it a little more every time. But I think early game, especially for these tower or for the turret plating, is definitely going to be feeling pretty good if you are Clown Gaming, because of course you did get those first 3 grubs. So you're going to be able to take these turret plates a little bit faster than Goon Squad can. So it's not going to feel too bad.
Yeah, but what is going to be a little bit bad is that, I don't know, it just feels like Jinx got 6 first because she was solo laning for so long. The health bars being the way they are though, if junglers continue on their path, I think Burpee Word is actually going to go towards top side to maybe try to make up for what happened to 420 in that dive attempt. However, I just think the bot lane is going to explode any moment. It just feels like something is going to happen down there, whether it be the Gwen gank or Sivir trying to find Jinx, or Swain finding a root. I think
Here
this bot
comes
lane is where we want to
Burby, though.
be. The root comes in on Nami. Sivir's going to try to defend. Meanwhile, top lane, Burby is going to try to make up for the failure earlier, and it does give a shutdown over to 420. Kind of equalizes that matchup a little bit more. But with the
I
Mumu
mean, you just saw
showing...
Demacia come down here. Yeah, they don't. The thing is, they also don't have vision. Actually, no, they had vision in the tri-brush, but now they'll be spotted. Gwen will be spotted now walking up as well. So, you know, bot lane's gonna feel a little better. Onset's gonna be, hey, we can probably fight this a little more, pressure it a little more, even though Gwen is in the area, because we saw Gwen walk up top lane or walk up to the mid lane, which just means Badger probably wants to be backing up just a little bit, especially against Humor, who actually doesn't have the magic resist cape here, and it's not whatever the first cape is. I don't remember what the first. I know the upgraded version, but I don't remember the base version of it. But doesn't have the magic resist early. Just decides to grab the ruby crystal, right? Just that little extra health can do a lot in lane.
Yeah, I think with the band as well, or the bead, sorry, I think that implies Heartsteel? I'm not entirely sure, because I don't remember tank items that well. I know Heartsteel, and that's about it. It could be Warmogs too, I guess. I don't think bead builds into a lot. No, oh, okay, never mind, never mind.
It looks to be
Spectre's Cowl.
because that is the first item of the Hollow Radiance,
420?
and
Okay, no, he's fine.
just
Go
didn't
ahead.
buy. It looks like not to buy the magic resist coke first item. So that's what it just didn't have enough probably for it. Just decided to go for that ruby crystal just in case that Amumu wanted to jump up, or if there was a rotation from the Gwen or the Garen or something like that. So my assumption, but it's just of course gonna go that first item of
I mean,
Hollow
double
Radiance,
item, really, with the Merc Treads. And that is so helpful against Amumu Syndra. No one is killing him easily, for sure.
Yeah, now this first item probably is just going to be Blackfire's Torch for the Syndra, right? He really wants that mana from the Lost Chapter, so nothing too special. And of course, that's going to be Yuntal's first item as well for Sivir. Actually, now looking at Jinx items, I understand why Resilience really wants to be sitting in lane for so long, because of Yuntal's needing BF Sword, and being 1,300 gold for a base item does cost a lot. So having to stick into lane longer for that item to get that,
Looks
40.
like this fight might be a little real, because I think 420 is going to have to run away from this. Is getting trapped in the cage. The Q knockup also hits, but the tower will be enough to turn to Super Slay and will walk away. This top lane matchup, however, is drawing up Burby World, and that means the cross-map play of Dragon is available. Looks like they're just going to handshake trade Dragon for Grubs again.
So no, it's not going to be any feats of strength going in, but all three of them are rotating here. They are going to go contested.
Oh, it's not handshake as much as I said. Slayin can go early because of how strong he is. However, with Galli ult as well, Burby has to flash away. Swain is here first. Nami is far, far behind. Burby no longer has flash, does have ultimate. The stun comes out again. This is Merc treads up, magic resist. Galio, yeah, Garen does enough damage that he will go down.
Watch Glory.
Win here's coming, however, is in the middle of 3 people as a jungler. That's not quite where you want to be. Artemis also blast plants over. They're trying to dive. Swain is going to take tower shots as a support. Artemis gets a double bubble, which I believe will make this play over.
Ooh.
As they can't
Still alive.
counter kill quite yet. Super Saiyan will go down. And it looks like
30
Gwen is
health.
just trying to get... Yeah,
There it
Swain will
is.
go down as well. Gwen is just trying to get the grub before Eing over, although I think she's trapped 100%. She will go down. She does secure 5 grubs for her team, though.
Yep, a triple kill actually for Burby, so that's going to be Hollow Radiance as well, I'm assuming, also for Amumu. So, I mean, that gold influx is going to feel pretty great, right? That's about a 1k gold lead now, after they were almost 2k down at 4 minutes. So, slowly turning around that gold lead, giving over those kills. I mean, maybe not the person who you really wanted on, right, Amumu, but, I mean, if Mumu can be tankier, you're not going to be complaining too much.
100%. Now, this bot lane has been kind of interesting because while the gold has been shifting around the map, it does feel like it mostly went on to Swain for the roams and the First Blood. And Sivir has just been kind of farming into Jinx, and they're both scaling. It definitely wasn't like a bully lane that really materialized to make sure Resilient can't pop off on the Jinx later, but Sivir still has that late game possibility, so Yuntal finish first for Sivir is a pretty big deal considering the scaling nature of the item.
Yes.
But I think once Jinx finishes it, it will not be that long before they're basically equalized.
Yeah, and of course, Sivir buying that coal as well, just just a little more items right there. Really saying, I mean, your Sivir, you can just farm so easily with the ricochet, with her boomerang boot. A little more damage here by 420 here.
Yeah, the top lane trades are getting pretty intense. Now, I will say there hasn't been a solo kill yet. There's only been junglers interacting, although they sure do make it close. But with Galio available, those could turn on 420 very quickly whenever that ults up in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I gotta feel pretty good if you're slaying, just because again you have. I mean, they're double healing, right? So they both have pretty good sustain in the lane. Yeah, 420 has his passive, is able to heal up, but ooh.
Well, he's using his passive instead to get the cannon, and that trade will be pretty intense. Also, God's Glory is here as well. The wall? What? That is the first time I've seen that. I think 420 is still dead. Kind of funny, though, as it delays it a little bit. But that is a lot of pressure on the top side of the map, and there's not really an answer. In fact, Swain finds Artemis, and Amumu finds this fight, but it's 1v2. Syndra can't really get here in time. Galio also has ultimate available. The dive attempt might come out. God's Glory doesn't want to go for it, as Super Saiyan finds Badger on the rotation. There is still Galio ult available. I don't think they're going to use it, though, because Badger's just super dead. God's Glory won't go down, though. Maybe Humor could have saved them. Either way, the shutdown is super, super important for Humor.
Now, see, before that fight, Syndra was about 600 gold up, but now it's only about 200. So Galio has been able to close that gold lead. But even if you look at this jungle matchup here, it's almost 1,000 gold difference on the side of Amumu. Amumu, even though was behind next to a lot of farm right there, was 90 to 60, was able to kind of bring it back with those kills, going over to the Amumu, of course, getting that Hollow Radiance right now, really wanting to go against that.
Oh, that bubble's pretty huge. I think Swain might have to commit ult here. It's still a lot of damage coming out. Barrier out for Onset as well. Flash in from Jinx to try to protect her support. Jinx will get the counter kill on Sivir, but it's just a 1-for-1. I think that favors the team that let Theory to carry up. Meanwhile, Burby looking for Humor, is able to dodge out, has a lot of magic resist. There's a Mumu ult available, but would they really use it on a Merctred's Galio with God's Glory right here? They absolutely will not.
Burby might die, though.
Actually, they're trying to get around. As Amumu gets caught up, has to use the ult defensively. Jinx is here as well. And Burby has no flash. So God's Glory is committing here. There's also a Jinx ult, I believe, but no mana.
Gwen used ult as well. I mean, this is a very interesting fiesta, if nothing else.
Both top laners are here in the mid lane because of the pressure going on. Stun finds Super Saiyan, 420. Trying to find something. Ignite taken out. They're going for the dive attempt. 420 just makes it look easy. The kid does not have ultimate right now, so 420 can spin to his heart's desire. Glory trying to heal up the camp. Stun finds him. Syndra ult will find him, and that means the Cloudric absolutely, you have to imagine, will go over. Humor teleports in. I believe he has the tenacity. Yeah, I believe he has the tenacity and magic resist to be okay. But that Cloudric does not have the tenacity and magic resist to be okay. So that will be going over to Goon Squad.
I mean, in this fight, yeah, of course it went over, but I mean, look at Sivir. All Sivir's been doing is just farming bot lane, getting as many as he can. But actually, with this turret going over, I think Humor will be able to get this turret, and that's going to be feet going over to the side of Clown Gaming. They were able to get the first turret, and of course the first 3 kills as well. So they're going to be getting those new shiny boots going over. So yes, they are at a 1.2k gold deficit, but I mean, those boots kind of even it out.
Yeah, I mean, just the 25 or the extra magic resist on Mercreds alone feels so good into Syndra. I mean, we'll see if that matchup continues. I do think that Galio and Syndra has the option to, you know, pass off the side lane to Garen if they can manage it. Herald will go over as well. That's going to be more turret pressure for Clown Gaming. And this Jinx is kind of also scaling quietly. I mean, you know, both AD carries definitely have very similar gold. I believe it's, yeah, 200 up for Sivir because of Cole. And that's just like, you know, you take that trade. Handshake trade of both AD carries being pretty good spot. Oh, this bubble is really huge. There's no, or Swain does have ultimate. Onset, however, getting slowed down and will fall to Resilient. And suddenly the gold deficit goes the other way. Top lane, God's Glory is here once again. 420 in trouble. Burby flashes in, has ultimate available, but God's Glory's shield stops it from affecting him. Here it goes onto Aatrox, and that will be true damage, which does not care about any resistances, so Super Saiyan will go down. Just a 2v2 counter gank effective for Burby World.
Yeah, gonna feel pretty good there, getting a kill onto the Garen. But I mean, the thing is, that might be turret going over to the Jinx here, and I actually was surprised that Artemis didn't go down there just because Galio was in the area. Could have Galio ulted under turret and would have been a pretty easy 1v3 against a Nami, but looks like just decides not to. So, I mean, even though no, actually, Sivir is now 500 gold down because of that kill, and of course turret going down. So, I mean, being 0-3 definitely doesn't feel good as a Sivir. But I mean, you are more, late game. All you're hoping to do is just auto attack a lot, which actually could be good against this team comp, right? You have the Aatrox, the Galio, and the Swain that you can really put as many boomerangs into them as you can. But because of this, I mean, I would maybe switch to Borg. That's just me, though. But
I do feel like we're going to be heading to one of those games that goes pretty late, because right now, Sivir's probably asking the team, hey, Sivir here, can we get to late game? I'm not doing so hot. And then that's a team with 2 dragons right now. It is Cloud Soul, so, Soul probably does end the game, but I feel like Clown Gaming have a long way to go before they get Soul. I feel like the pressure is pretty equalized across the map rather than being, hyper-focused in one champion. And kind of, across the board, even, I mean, it is Goon Squad that's up gold right now. S420 tries to find Humor, stops the dash. I don't know if he has the damage right now. This tower is low, but it is still standing. Ooh. The Q misses, and that's going to call off the play.
Yeah, I tried to predict it, but wasn't able to actually get it. I think they should know that there is still vision there, but Otacon does spawn. Sivir's the only one top lane, so I think Amumu really wants to back here, really go for it.
They're starting it.
They're just starting it.
20-minute Otacon start. I get it. It's kind of a call whenever you see Amumu bot lane. Hey, they probably don't have vision up here. Is Nami even going to be able to check? Because you can kill Nami really quickly. God's Glory is doing a lot of damage to this with the buffs to Jungle Gwen, plus the fact that Gwen has always been good at killing monsters. Nami's will face check, get rooted, and this is not what you think whenever you think Otacon's going down. Amumu's running it towards here, though, but it's just too late. They get Ruinous. They need to get the flowers. That is the important part. Amumu could get the follow-up play. These health bars are pretty low. Nami ult, going to zone. Yeah, Swain ult finds Badger. Onset running for his life. Amumu on the flank teleport. Coming in as well for Galio, and this tower is the only thing defending them. Meanwhile, Amumu is just alone. There's just no follow-up. Ults on 2 people, but we'll get taunted. We'll get Galio ulted. Aatrox will go down. However, Jinx is about to get a reset. Though. Swain getting a lot. Yeah, it does look like Sivir got a kill. But once Jinx gets a kill, she gets resets, and that's more important. Resilient doesn't get the assist, though. Has to cleanse too late. And Huber will also go down, potentially. He will. That'll be a shutdown for Onset, and Onset is absolutely back in this game. And it just felt like Onset got to play the match, or got to play the team fight a lot better off than, it looked like he was going to, because Burpee World was not available for the front to back, yet they made it work.
Pretty sure Amumu there was trying to steal as many flowers as he could whenever they were kind of away. But I mean, that's a 2 for 5, so you're not going to be complaining about that. Ace getting at 3k goldly now, really being able to run for that dragon that does spawn in 9 seconds. So should be able to get there in time because Jinx and Galio are still dead. Galio does not have TP or ultimate, so won't be able to get in this fight too quickly.
They're still looking, though. I mean, they are still trying to contest vision and potentially go for a steal. I imagine you're right that the team fight is not realistic. However, the dragon take is not very quickly with Onset so far away.
But Onset does have IE, so the damage that Onset can put down already is going to be a lot here.
Yeah.
Ooh, knock up onto
Super Saiyan stunned. Herald committed, so they might go for the fight afterwards, just to prevent the Herald from being stopped. Or they can zone out, but Amumu finds the Q. No ultimate available, though. Nami ult will do the trick, at least. Burpee World goes down. Super Saiyan is absolutely massive. Gets 2, and Onset doesn't have the front line anymore. It won't work like last fight. He will go down, and that's with the Herald also pushing down mid. They give up the dragon, but they get 3 kills, and they're going to get so much mid lane off this Herald.
Yeah, I mean, that was look at the gold. It swung back again. I mean, this really is a roller coaster of a ride here. Gets that? Are they... I mean,
are they going for the end?
Are they just going for the end?
This is Jinx team.
This
Jinx
is a jinx.
definitely.
There's the next turret. Is this a 23-minute first
Sivir,
game
Badger
here?
trying to get anything he can. Swain ult plus Galio ult will still let the Swain go down. They're getting the second tower. Jinx is so excited right now. Right clicking the Nexus. Amumu does have ultimate. Will use it. Jinx wins the target because that's the one that's
There's
killing the
not enough
Nexus.
though.
But there's other people killing the Nexus other than Jinx. So even though Resilient goes down, Clowns will win the first game. And I do like that that happened about 3 minutes after I said the game was going to last very long.
Yeah, that was a very quick game. One game decided it all. Didn't even go to Cloud Soul, which was impressive. They got Cloud. They got the point. They got Soul Point, but wasn't able to get the Soul in the end. But I mean, I thought Onset was about to do great there, right? Having that IE already after that fight, getting that double kill, getting the shutdown. But again, afterwards, Amumu jumped in. I think Burby thought that, hey, I have Jack Show now. I can jump in even without ult and do a lot, but there's not much you can do as an Amumu when you don't have the ultimate available to stun for. Because I think if that ultimate came out, the Onset would have been able to kill a lot. Badger would have been able to do a lot there, but because there was no ultimate on the Amumu, everyone was still able to walk around the Amumu, jump onto Badger, jump onto Onset, and just end the game.
Yeah, I do think that Clowns were just one step ahead. It felt like Burbs was like, okay, we can get this dragon, which is true. They absolutely had the setup for the dragon. What they didn't account for was Herald mid, set up for the fight. You have to answer the Herald after taking the dragon. And maybe the reasonable response is maybe recall to try to front to back, or just don't panic. We're going to have to get back to mid some way. Unfortunately, they try to answer the Herald in a way that leads to Onset being without a front line, essentially. Amumu goes in without ultimate available, dies, and with the Herald and the Jinx, they just lose the game.
Mm-hmm. Then we get the reset after reset, super powerful with how many grubs as well getting spawned because of the Rift Herald, and of course having 5 grubs, getting at least that extra grub on your team is just super powerful. So gonna be a 23-minute first game for this best of 5. So I mean, if you wanted if you wanted to go home early, it's feeling good. But again, that is only game 1. We still have at least 2 more games here for tonight, if not more. Who knows? With how quick that game was, how roller coastery of a game it was, you never know. This could go to a game 5 and we get some silver scrapes, but too early to tell for now.
Yeah, it does feel like both teams at least had a game plan going in and were playing to it in many ways. Both teams really had a chance to win until Herald was committed to and won the game, basically. So I do think that there's definitely a chance for this to be a real series, but maybe there's a chance for, 2 additional bans for Clown Gaming and the mentality of just like, we won game 1, we're going to take it all the way. Maybe they do take it all the way and get a 3-0. So we'll have to find out. It looks like they have made Goon Squad have chosen to take the blue side. Both teams will have all 5 bans, which I appreciate. And we're going to get a draft pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just waiting. There we go. I can go in here now. Now, I don't think there's going to be maybe too many changes in the draft there. I don't think that any
Yeah.
individual champion was too strong. Right, I think everyone did. I don't think that you have to ban out the Jinx or the Swain or anything like that. I think that it was more maybe team coordination that was a little more off than a champion being just too strong. So I still think we'll see similar bans coming out. I don't think we're going to see too many changes, and
Mhm.
we could even see a redo of the draft of game 1.
I mean, like I said, both teams came in with a game plan that worked out. There is one thing that's going to be different. Clown's going to have 2 bans extra, so they kind of, with having the win with only 1 ban, they
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, and being on red side, I mean, the bans are going to change some things regardless, I imagine, as the Poppy ban will be taken for Clown again, but everything else will obviously be different on the ban side of Clown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still assuming that we are going to see this Viego ban come out as well, and the Kale ban as well, right, as we saw in game 1. But a Talia ban coming out, not wanting to see Badger's mid lane Talia that has kind of dominated the Rift a couple times over these last couple weeks. So don't want to see that again. Same bans coming out from Goon Squad here, and we're going to see the Zyra ban getting pushed up from the second ban phase to the first one here.
Okay, so now Good Squad does have to come up with a blue 1 pick. If they pick their AD carry, I imagine Cloud answers with Jinx. However, Corki is very hard to answer with Jinx, so I don't know if that's what Cloud is going to go for. It does feel like a much different taste than the Sivir lane. Both can be lane bullies in their own right, but Corki just has that extra oomph to him early game for sure.
I mean, you have Azir. Who doesn't want to see some Corki Azir? But it looks like they're just going to pick the Caitlyn out here, just poke out the Corki as much as they can. Right? Never want to be in melee range of Corki, being that he has his W and his E to kind of shred anyone that walks up to him. But just going to replay the Gwen as well from last game.
Yeah, the Gwen did seem to not struggle at all. I thought maybe there might be some issues with ganks, but there were some issues with counter ganks maybe. Other than that, the Gwen did fine and definitely performed in some of those team fights. So running it back makes a lot of sense. And it's the onus is on Goon Squad to come up with an answer for sure.
I think if they pick a Mumu, I think they have to kind of do it a little better. But Skarner pick. It's not too bad, right? Skarner's always been a little strong. I think he had a couple nerfs recently, but I still think he's still strong nonetheless, right? Having that 3-man impale that does come out, being able to have just driving through walls, grab someone and kidnap them, and being able to just have heartsteel and tank up every single thing that anyone puts onto them. Oh, is very powerful, right? And I think his pool also works on Gwen, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Should though, because Garner is of course in the shroud or in
Yeah.
the hollow mist, but it looks like Ari pick here. I mean, you got charm. It's not gonna feel too bad.
Ari is a very nice blind pick. They did some nice little shenanigans with the Swain pick that clown or sorry, that was the other side. Obviously, it switched sides. But the Ari blind pick is going to be nice whenever the Swain isn't showing or Galio. Uh, has a lot of advantages. We do see a Cassiopeia as well, and it has to be mentioned again. These are potential flex picks. Either one of these champions could technically top lane. I imagine they're running back the Gwen jungle, but
I think that's
Goon
Gwen
Squad does
jungle.
have to keep that in mind.
I think that is going to be cast mid because of the miasma being able to be put onto Ari, right? So she can't actually use ultimate. Able to get as many Qs as they want onto the Ari, get the damage done. So that should be Cassio mid, Gwen mid, or yeah, Cassio mid, Gwen jungle here. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we could always see a Lux or Morgana bot lane, right? Get the stuns, get the Caitlyn trap right on top of them, get the more damage. So we still can see something like that bot lane of a support. But I mean, if I'm Cloud Gaming, I'd really want to be putting more tanks on my team, right? Maybe putting like a Leona would have been great, being able to jump in onto the Corki here. But I thought Tarek would have been a great first pick here for him, but I guess they don't want to. I mean, can bring something out like the Braum, maybe the Swain again. Could bring out the Maokai support as well. Nautilus is also up on the table, so going to be interested to see how they want to kind of what tank support champ they want to pick here, because I really think that a tank support is going to be their best bet.
Yeah, and I imagine they're going to blind pick support here and leave the top lane a mystery. But what tank support works well with Caitlyn other than, Leona? Even then, you wanted something that can combine with the trap. It looks like we're going to see Wukong. I believe that is top lane, but obviously they've still got all of these flexes available.
I mean, that could be Gwen top lane in that case, Wukong jungle. I mean, there's a lot of flex picks that kind of like to be bringing to the table here against Goon Squad. We're going to see what Goon Squad wants to put back, because of course they still need a top laner and support available. I mean, with this Corki, Analyst Star. I mean, Corki's a really weird champ. That I mean, you can have some picks to go with it, but
Okay, speaking of weird
oh,
champs, that is a
Quinn.
Quinn locked
That
in.
is, I did talk about it in the beginning, right? Quinn is a very big champion for 420, having that being the most played champion in ranked for 420, actually having a 65% win rate as well in pro or in rank. So it's not gonna feel too bad. Gonna be a comfort pick here, and it's gonna just bring back that Nami as well. But what is Clown gonna have into it? What tank champion do they want to be fighting against? Either the Corki Nami bot lane. I guess
I
it
mean,
has to be the Corki Nami bot lane.
I don't hate the Lux bring back. Like usually you do want to tank support into this like setup, but with the way Goon Squad have picked their comp, I think Lux could actually do a lot of work here too.
But
They're gonna
it's
go
gonna be
split the difference and get a Morgana,
I
which I
mean,
think is like a
there's
little
one
bit
to
of
3
both.
seconds.
Right. Like, Morgana in a way is a tank in that she can't die for 2 seconds in stasis. Also brings a lot of the poke that Lux would have brought. I think it's actually kind of the perfect pick if you're looking for that aggressive lane and also for the team fights. However, it does mean you're a little indexed into magic damage, but you know, Gwen's got true damage. You've still got Wukong Caitlyn. It's not going to be easy for Goon Squad. And I do think with the Skarner nerfs, it's not like he's going to be as unkillable as he used to be.
Mm-hmm. So I think great picks from both teams here. Really like Clown's pick, right? Having that range really from that Caitlyn Morgana, being able to stun Goon Squad up for your 10 plus years, of course, because it's Morgana. But and of course the Black Shield coming in, be able to stop the Ari charm, the Skarner jump in as well, the Nami bubble and ultimate. So a lot of good things that Morgana can provide, right? Stun the Corki if Corki wants to jump in. Stun the Quinn as soon as Quinn tries to ult, has the ult, tries to run in with 1,000 move speed. And then Quinn's kind of a sitting duck in that after that point.
And I am wondering how the bot lane matchup is going to go as well. I feel like Clown just had a little bit of the upper hand, not only in the 2v2, but also with you know the kid moving first and resilient just absolutely being okay in the 1v2. With the Caitlyn Morgana, I feel like all of those attributes are just a little bit stronger. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the scaling isn't there, so maybe the pressure of needing to win the lane makes things different. And with Corki being stronger than Sivir early game, maybe the dynamic is different, but I do feel like Clown Gaming have picked a bot lane matchup that if the dynamic from the first game continues in terms of how the players play it, will absolutely lead to them having a winning matchup in that lane.
Yeah, I am interested to see how this Quinn is going to play out. I'm assuming that that's Gwen. Top lane, I don't think you really want to be playing Wukong as much into the Quinn, right? You have, of course, the Quinn passive being able to have that extra damage on that first hit, or for someone that has been marked by Quinn, so has a lot of damage, has that knockback, so can do a lot if it and Gwen, but Gwen being able to go in the hollow mist, being able to negate all of that damage from Quinn, because of course range can't. Quinn has to walk up, and of course that's prime time for Gwen to have that ult down, slow down the Quinn so she can't run away, and just snip, snip, snip until Quinn loses her wings. So I mean, Quinn's gonna be an interesting pick, right? Of course, Quinn's really happy to run around everywhere, so I think Clown has to put a lot of wards down to be able to keep track of where Quinn goes. But if they can, I think Clown has a pretty good team comp to kind of take this to a 2-0.
We will get confirmation on the top lane matchup very soon, as we are literally on that pick. I also want to say that I'm a little bit worried for Burby World. It felt like the Amumu just wasn't quite where he wanted it to be. There were definitely some counter ganks that worked very well, and Skarner is very good at that. So he definitely has some strengths to work towards. But I am worried about the team fights as well. And I feel like, okay, so it will be Gwen top lane and Wukong jungle. So you are correct in your assessment.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful of that Wukong be able to jump in onto the Corki, onto the Ari in that backline with that with his ultimate knock up, everyone kind of really not wanting to turn anything into bouncy castle, because as soon as Morgana hits a single Q, Wukong's be able to can jump in, Caitlyn can jump in with the trap, and the CC that comes out is just so annoying. I think if you get later in the game, if you get hit with a Morgana Q, you'll be seeing a gray screen pretty quickly.
There's definitely quite a lot of nice follow up for sure. However, it also has to be said that, yeah, Clown Gaming has a very fragile, in a way, idea of how to play team fights and team comp in a lot of ways. If the Caitlyn gets behind, it's a big deal. If Ari can find an assassination, it's a big deal. And of course, if Skarner finds a pretty big ultimate, which, yes, same thing for a Mumu, but I do feel like it's a little bit more potent here, I guess, with
Hmm.
the way that Clown are trying to play team fights.
Yeah, as long as Burby can actually get those hits, because we saw how many Amumu bandage tosses that they did miss. But as long as they can get the ultimate on the Scar with the Scar and be able to pull back the very squishy members, of course, on the side of Clown Gaming, get a good Corky Q onto everyone, get the Nami ultimate on everyone, knock everyone up. I think that they can really clear the team, because of course it's a pretty squishy team on Clown. But I think as long as Clown plays with their range, plays with their CC, it's gonna be really hard for Goon Squad to really go in and do much.
Well, we will have to see how that goes and how laning goes, because we got some crazy matchups as well, just that could blow open the game by themselves. And we will see how that goes after a quick break. All right, welcome back to the Rift of Game 2 of No Goon Squad versus Clown Gaming Blood Moon. As I see a 5-point, I saw Morgana walking with a teammate, and I was like, I better talk fast because the level 1 is probably going to happen. But it looks like it's just the bot lane walking together. So we have a bit of time. Launches, you can talk about stuff.
Um,
Yeah,
Morgana scary. I mean,
true. I mean, they're walking into that bush pretty aggressively. It's kind of gonna lead to something, I imagine.
yeah. No fun level 1 that Morgana really can do. We love it when Morgana just they 5-man get on Morgana stand, get that 2-second stun at level 1, and then you're kind of dead pretty quickly after 5 people jump onto you. But I guess they're not going to go for it. They're a little scared of the Nami bubble that can come out,
I
the
mean,
Skarner that's good tanking
I
out.
think
But
this is pretty potent too. If Onset and Artemis do not respect this, they will be losing the
hmm
lane very quickly, which is a huge deal in this matchup. It looks like they are respecting it a little bit though,
they don't have
as they
pings
walk
coming
behind the
up though,
minions.
so I don't
Yep.
know. They don't know. Yeah, they're just walking up. They actually don't know that they are in that bush here.
Sweeper used. They've got first hit. Q
Ooh,
misses
missed it on
though.
a.
So it looks like Caitlyn will have push a little bit because of that Q on minions, but I mean, I think you take this as the quirky side pretty happily.
Mm-hmm.
It depends though. We'll see how that lane shakes up pretty quickly. As wait a
Actually,
second.
lane swap.
Yeah, so I believe this is legal. I'd have to look at the rulebook again. Badger gets level 2 first though, so Super Saiyan's in a little bit of trouble. I believe there was a ruling about this recently, so I don't know 100% for LXC, but obviously you're solely. I mean, I literally started the broadcast. People probably weren't here because it was like 2 hours ago, but saying about how your top and mid basically can intertwine. But yeah, we see Super Saiyan mid lane right now, and Humor top lane.
Yeah, but I mean, of all the traps there, they're having to kind of be careful, even under their own turret here. Play safe while getting destroyed in a turret definitely doesn't feel that great. But, I mean, Badger hits level 3 first against Super Saiyan. I think with that, I'm going to switch around these people. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Now I swapped around. Now they're in the right order now for me, so I actually can see the goal difference. Because I mean, it's 12 for 3. I think the CS lead is definitely not feeling too well for Slayin here. So gonna have to pick up the pace there if it doesn't want to be too far behind in gold. Because I mean, right now, it's not too much, but it will stack up in later in this game.
I also wonder how much the players have played these respective lanes, because I know as a mid laner, top lane is just, it's a different language. I know, like, obviously some people can do both, but I am not bilingual in those freaking lanes, because,
Mm-hmm.
oh, as that root hits, as level 3 comes in, this is pretty huge. Trap can come out as well, so cleanse will be used, and it's a pretty big trade. Onset has to walk away and be chunked against 2 people that absolutely will bully him under tower.
Yeah, it's not going to be feeling that great here. I mean, there is heal available on the Nami just in case. There is no ignite as well, so if Resilient pushes up just too far, Onset probably could get a kill here. But it looks like they're already going to get a turret play in not even 4 minutes here. That's just the power of the
Skarner setting up freaking
Caitlyn.
comp
But
mid though.
uh-oh, oh,
And Super Saiyan probably not used to Skarner coming from Raptor Bush, gets the stun under tower charm and first blood, and that's what I'm talking about. How does Super Saiyan know about the Skarner kick from Raptor Pit? That doesn't happen top lane.
mm-hmm. It's just a change of pace here, and there's no there's no cross map because Wukong was backing at the time, so gonna have a little slower time at this point here. But I mean, bot lane, again, we look back at bot lane, it's just not going well for the side of Goon Squad. They're gonna have to kind of give away a lot of pressure here. Gonna have to give away the tower plates as well, and just hope that they can hold off until late game, where then Corkin can really get his Triforce up and available, get that more damage coming down, and hope for the best.
So, with this setup, do you ever think that Humor and Super Saiyan switch back? I mean, I feel like a low level Gwen does not do well into Quinn, but she's already doing poorly. So maybe you kind of just say, all right, Super Saiyan, good luck. We're going to try to make sure Cassiopeia can play the game well into RA and make sure we don't have 2 lanes that are able to have pressure. Or do you just hope that Super Saiyan can get back onto his first foot?
I
As
think you're gonna
Badger's
really
just
hope
making
that.
an aggressive trade. Junglers find each other as well, but Burby can just walk out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're really hoping that that God's Glory could really get in here and help out. But it looks like they're just gonna go for drag here. So probably gonna be a trade for grubs, but Skarner actually isn't. Just gonna take wolves at this point. I mean, maybe a little greedy there. Should really go for grubs, or at least set up for grubs that come in 16 seconds, maybe get some wards down or something like that. Looks like one Badger will start getting some wards down right now. Gonna hit the blast cone to see if there's any wards, but there's no wards in there now. So, I mean, there can be a steal of one of the grubs here if Wukong can get there fast enough, but it's gonna
I don't think
gonna
he
have
has
to
any
run pretty
interest.
quickly.
Yeah, he's just cross-mapping. It says, I will handshake trade the objectives, but I will also take your jungle while I'm doing it, which is always a great thing as a jungler whenever you initiate the trade and you get the other side. But Badger does have pressure on Super Saiyan because of this.
-1 though.
Unlucky.
Yeah, Super does have ultimate though, so gonna have to be careful here. But Caitlyn has yet to back here, so it's gonna feel pretty bad as soon as Caitlyn does get that back in, does get that gold. Definitely gonna have enough for that BF sword, maybe buy the boots as well, just to get a little faster. But at least Corki does have Manamune, Tear of the Goddess gonna be able to get some stacks early. But ooh, kind of caught out here.
Yeah, I think Onset has to dodge and does not dodge the Q. Gets a damage on the kid maybe, but he will go down.
And you saw how much DCS there was.
A really nice gank. Gets a really good double stun. So Humor will be fine. And don't force the Gorgon.
I mean, you saw how long that CC was. I mean, Onset wasn't even able to move at all, right? That's the power of not having cleanse and having a Morgana on your team here. But the thing is, Humor has to stay, right? Doesn't want to lose too many tower plates here. Ooh, Badger is...
Super Saiyan gets charmed within the bubble. Badger has ultimate to get out. Dodges the first Gwen ult, I think the second one. Has W, but Gwen gets to dash forward. The Q misses entirely, and Gwen has full control of this wave. Badger cannot clear this wave. So I think they might even call Quinn here. Or, sorry, Quinn, not Gwen. It's hard to differentiate that. As you can see, Badger just cannot hit this wave. So Quinn finds Super Saiyan. Gets a dash in, flash in, trying for the charm, bubble goes out. It looks like they didn't think he had mana for it, but he does. So at least Badger will get the bailout, but that is -1 flash and -1 ultimate for Badger.
Yeah, I mean, losing the flash on Ari, right? So you can get that 4th dash definitely feels a little bad, but it is what it is, right? Doesn't get it because kind of sees the mana is not enough, or thinks the mana is not enough, actually is enough, gets the kill there, but I mean, here's just a move here.
Okay, Burby doesn't get the reaction, spell shield for the kid. There it is now, but Caitlyn gets caught up, has to flash out. Ease away, 420 doesn't have enough mana to go for this dive, I believe.
Look at the length of the root, though.
Resilient, dodges the bubble. That Artemis, 420 has to flash away. Burby can tank it pretty easily, though. Humor is here. Wukong is here. The root lands on to Artemis, so he will go down. And now they have full control of the map for Clown Gaming for a little bit. And,
I mean, that CC was so long. I mean, it's what, almost feels like it's 4 seconds. You're just standing there, not being able to move, just watching the entire team collapse onto you. And of course, Morgana Q has a pretty low cooldown as well, so is able to just keep putting out those stuns. Yeah, of course, Wukong was able to then come in, get the ultimate proc as well, getting the knockup, making sure that Artemis is not able to do much. So they now have 2 kills, so we're looking to get that 3rd very soon to get the first proc, or I guess first feat of warfare, I should say, in this case. Get a little closer to those shiny boots.
And you can see Humor and Super Saiyan have temporarily swapped. I don't know if this will last, but this is the point where Gwen has a lot more options against Quinn. Actually, so you can see it here, Super Saiyan going for the ultimate against 420, who cannot get away. The blind doesn't matter. And Super Saiyan just gets a solo kill on to 420 after that first gank with horribly mid lane.
Yeah, actually, Badger might be pretty bad.
Grounded.
He doesn't have the ultimate. Get out. Charm comes in.
Uses Charm. Cassiopeia ult is available, but the tower's still too close, so it's just gonna go for lane dominance. Not any kill pressure here. Skarner's in the Vario on a ward though.
Ooh.
I believe the ward spotted him.
Here.
Actually, Humor has to find another miracle ultimate. It might be here. The ult dodge as well from Skarner. God's Glory is here as well. Flash in
Flash
from
in
Burby
from
into a
Skarner?
Wukong. He just can't quite find it. The Q will be enough damage. God's Glory does get the counter kill on Badger. Burby also has to run away. He should be up pretty soon. Artemis also available for the heal. So now God's Glory's into trouble. Does not get stunned, will get bubbled. Burby's able to walk away with no mana. God's Glory is able to W away, fight in the wave so
Is
Artemis
Artemis
doesn't
dead,
have
though?
kill pressure.
Artemis-
And actually gets the counter kill.
did
Flashes
again.
and gets 2 kills! And does not, does die to 420! And it's just an all-around fiesta in the mid lane for a little bit.
I mean, all I can say is get the clown music running right now, because that's what it feels like we're watching here. A circus. One
It is
over
Clown
the
Gaming.
other, after the other. I mean, they're living up to their name, Clown Gaming, that's for sure. But I think both teams are being the clowns in this case. But was able to get that double kill onto the Wukong. Probably gonna feel pretty good, right? To be able to get that Triforce ready as well. Knock up, but it's not gonna do much.
Yeah, I,
mean,
don't
yeah,
think
Corki does
Onset
full
really wants to
damage,
go
but-
in here. He's gonna give up so
No.
many minions if he does. And look at the damage that's coming out while he just hits the minions. That trade looks so tough. He also has cleanse into barrier. So the combat is a little hard for him. Additionally, the Serrated Darkest finish for Caitlyn, almost done with the full collector. So Onset, bubble is nice. I'm not gonna go in on that Artemis. I'm just looking for a wave here.
Yeah, it looks like they will get Goon's Guard will get grubs though, and we'll have to try to run down to this drag here to try to get the last. It's just gonna be a trade though, so just gonna be 2-2 for the feats right here. Not gonna have too much here. So I think this game will either go to whoever gets this first turret, or at least the feats are gonna be whoever gets this first turret, or whoever gets the first Rift Herald, because I think that'll be coming up here in about 3:40 as compared to Dragon, who of course is going to take another 5 minutes right now.
Yeah, so Dragon will go down, and you're right that it basically comes down to objective or tower. A Charm comes out for Badger, but he's down a level. It's a little hard. Burby does get a gank attempt on Super Saiyan, who has to flash the Skarner ult. And that'll be the end of that play. However, bot lane, there's another spicy play brewing up. Onset has cleanse. We'll probably have to use it here, because I imagine this Q hits. Uses cleanse, flashes out. Wukong still going in though. Can't find the second R. Artemis stunned under tower, will live as well, and the play just doesn't work out for Clown Gaming.
I mean,
And,
Onset's just going to die right here. Just going to get one tapped by the Caitlyn here, I'm assuming here. Yep.
Wave is
It's going
gone,
to go down.
but he still dies to the Q. Really well played by Onset to get the entire wave. However, Caitlyn doesn't need a wave, just a nice little aimed Q.
Because, I mean, that's still going to be tower gone already. So you got 5 more minions, and you died for it, where you could have not died for it for 5 less minions, and you're going to lose the turret
Oh,
anyways.
teleport
But
behind.
here's a TP behind, though. Flank angle, maybe, but God's Glory is in the area, though.
Yeah, I think Badger is going to flash in. Spell Shield used, though. Flash out from Resilient. Root also found, so...
Still
Badger's
stuck.
just dead.
The power of
Glory's like-
Morgana.
Yeah, God's Glory's like, I'm gonna finish this red buff because I have full faith in my team, and I guess that faith was well placed because they did not need him.
Yeah, and I think Onset could die again if they want to push their luck. Because, I mean, it's a collector already for the Caitlyn. Of course, Lethality is going to be feeling pretty good against these against the Corki, who has pretty much no armor. So it's going to be -1. Nope. Does get it. But, I mean, what is Caitlyn going to be able to buy? It does buy the Berserker Greaves and the Cloak. So that's going to have that little extra damage, right, for the 15% crit chance that, or I guess now 40%. And, of course, the boots get a little more attack speed for the Caitlyn. I mean, it's just going to hurt a lot.
Oh, Skarner does find Humor here. Humor still has the ultimate. This would be the 3rd gank dodge. Doesn't dodge the Skarner ult, though, and is under tower damaging because of the poison. So Wukong is here to try to save. The clone gets charmed, and it looks like God's Glory was able to protect his laner. Humor definitely playing with this pressure, but is able to deal with the ganks pretty well. Oh, here's
Yeah,
the second
actually,
one, though. I don't think this gank is going to go quite that way. Does ultimate the Quinn. Can't quite do that to the Ari Charm goes wide. Flash in from Quinn Ignite as well. 420 will get that. Gets that caster cursed at him. As God's Glory is just here to pick up the wave, potentially.
I mean, it's a back and forth game, but I think Super Saiyan will get this top turret here, and we'll get the new shiny boots for the side of Clown Gaming. Yep, and they will get the upgraded boots here. And did No, I was gonna say, did he just steal it? No, but I don't think he's gonna be dead here. We'll just take the blast cone
Has
out.
Chemtech
So
Soul Plant. Has to ult and is blinded though, so he might just die first because Badger is here. And that is a huge kill that God's Glory really used just to give Slipper Slane some pressure. Fortunately,
yeah,
it just
but
doesn't
it's the
work
slow,
for him.
and that's the
Badger
benefit is you
doesn't
have that slow.
ultimate. Can't be slowed for Skarner. 420 does not want to go into that tower though.
Yeah, the thing is, watch Kid because it is in the background here. Can do a lot, right? As soon as a single Q comes in, you're almost guaranteed death with that Morgana. So gonna have to be very
Seeing
careful
something on the
here.
minimap, by the way. Resilient just canceled the back in a bush. I think he's waiting for Onset to make a mistake.
Ooh,
Meanwhile,
Artemis.
Kid dodges the bubble, uses the special, so there's no charm availability. However, he's still pretty chunked. Humor is available. It looks like Caitlyn showed him something popped up bot lane. They're just going to be trading waves for now. However, Kid is pretty chunked with Herald available. So I think with the Caitlyn pressure all being bot lane, it is going to open up No Goon Squad to try to get this Herald.
Yeah, Super Slane does not have the ultimate either on Gwen just yet, so we'll have to kind of back out. We'll have to give over this Rift Herald, right?
That's
So,
rude.
uh-oh.
That's an Ari with an ult though. I don't think she has to use it, so Badger will be fine. He'll walk away clean. Nice little poke attempt. You know, they're not really going to contest the objective, but you know, make Badger worry about it. Maybe he pops ult.
Yeah, just kind of get the jump scare right, make someone fat finger or something or anything like that. But the thing is, Resilient is strong. If nothing else, Resilient is very strong. Has that BF sword, has the Kraken Saber. Oop, here comes 420. Where is the Quinn going? That's the question. In circles.
I imagine
Just in a
a
circle.
lot of people, a lot of people are going to be going for the dragon circle, because this dragon is pretty key. Chemtech Soul might be one of the weakest souls, yet you still don't want to give that over, and this will be third dragon as well. God's Glory in a little bit of a pickle, but he's got Clone available and Morgana available, so he'll be able to walk out, but that does give vision advantage over to Goon Squad. As they get the ultimate onto God's Glory! No special, no clone used. He is going to E back in, ult, and Skarner will go down, will flash out as well.
Here comes from the
It
look at the
looks like
back
it
line
doesn't
though.
even
Artist is gonna
matter.
die here.
Super Saiyan getting onto Artemis. 420 gonna try to protect, doesn't even matter. Caitlyn sniped it. And that will absolutely be their dragon as well. Ari is going to be ulting out. So yeah, God's Glory might be chunked, but I think he's gonna be more than healthy enough to take this dragon. And that will be again their third dragon.
I mean, that is now sole point here. So do you want to say that this game's going to go really late like last time? Or do you think this game's going to be ending very shortly here? I mean, it's already a 4K gold lead, almost a 4K gold lead. And, I mean, Otacon doesn't even spawn for another 2 minutes, so...
I'm not gonna make a claim because I feel like if I say this game is going to be over soon, it's gonna last like 40 more minutes, so... But I do see your point. Yeah, this game is completely different than game one. In game one, we had the team who had the gold lead, didn't have the dragons, or it had a slight dragon deficit. This time we've got objective bounties, we've got a Caitlyn who's just completely snowballed out of control, and 3 dragons secured to 0.
Yeah, I mean, they at least have a Rift Herald to play around, but I don't think it's going to be doing too much here. I mean, they haven't actually hit many of the turrets here, like, at all. They've lost a lot, but of course they've lost 3 turrets already. All tier 1 towers have gone down. Tier 2s just standing there waiting for their demise. And I mean, the only benefit for the side of Goon Squad is they have Herald, and they have 6 scrubs, but I mean, against 3 dragons, it's not going to feel too good.
6 scrubs, Corky versus Caitlyn is like an even mashup on taking towers. That's 420 does find Kid. Spell Shield will not be very effective against all the physical damage coming out. Badger will actually pick up that shutdown. Now, they did use a lot of cooldowns for that, but they are going to use this tempo to try to use Herald on mid lane.
I mean, get that Herald mid lane, maybe see if anyone...
Flash in onto Humor. The ultimate comes out, but it doesn't really stun anyone, so Humor will also go down. And suddenly Goon Squad are popping back into this game. You can see objective bounties are falling off, yet Resilient still with that 2-item Infinity Edge Collector standing.
Yeah, but with that, I mean, should just be able to kind of rotate bot lane right now. Looks like they're just going to really spend their gold, and I think this is definitely an Otacon angle, but I think I think Otacon will be the next objective that both of these teams go for. Problem is, wasn't able to get that mid turret, so doesn't actually get that bounty claimed at all. So we'll have to just walk away. And as I say that, they're just gonna.
Yeah, I think they're just.
Clown Gaming is just gonna go right onto Otacon.
Yeah, Clown Gaming have 1 speed and it's 20-minute on no matter the game state. I mean, obviously this is only second time in a row, but I definitely agree with this. It's a good call. But we'll see if it works out for them. Kid is a little chunked right now. Also, shredded resistances from the Otacon. Furby does not have ultimate though, so how can he possibly get in here and do anything effective without ultimate? Humor also has to teleport in, so they are going to give up Otacon here for a little bit, but that kind of just shreds the enemy team. How far are they going to give it up though? This could be
Are they
bursted.
gonna take it?
That's a good charm. This is a good pincer maneuver though. Who is going to take this? This is going to be a smite fight. Now again, the roses are the most important thing. However,
Oh, Barbie's dead,
Glory
though.
is in the pit.
Barbie's
Birdie
dead.
will die, so they will secure it. Onset also has to run away. Super Saiyan might go down. He will not. As the grounded finds everyone, Root finds Onset. Badger also going to fall, and they will go collect the roses after they completely eviscerate Goon Squad.
I mean, just push down bot lane right now. There's nothing available on the map just yet. You take the roses, push that bot lane, because that's a clean ace right there. You get this first turret, this turret here, push that mid lane turret as well. Probably can even get tier 2 because Skarner's up in only 3 seconds, and you're not going to be able to walk into lane quick enough. I mean, you get Otacon 3 turrets off of this. I mean, this game will last a little longer than game 1, right? Because in game 1 they were already pushing down the Nexus, I guess, at this point.
About 23 minutes. Yeah,
it was about 23, but...
Otacon taken to Herald mid, basically, after the next dragon. But Herald not available, so it probably will last a little bit longer. However, the gold deficit is so massive, and again, they are just 1 dragon away from Soul.
Yeah, I mean, I think unless Goon Squad can really get a really big ace for nothing during this dragon fight, I think that this soul point here, the taking of the soul for the side of Clown Gaming in this fight will really kind of spell the end. Because I mean, it spawns in 30 seconds. Quinn is top lane, not looking for this dragon at all. Just saying, you know what? I'm just gonna try to take this turret here. No, looks like no. I'm just gonna go back with Sork shoes and now run very fast to that dragon pit, because this is going to be a 5v5 dragon fight. 4v5 until at least Gwen TP's in.
Kimtech Soul is the most beatable soul, but obviously both teams still really want this. Badger is going to have to do a lot of work finding a charm through a spell shield. Gwen can TP at her leisure. Pretty sure Super Saiyan can just clear waves and stall out this fight, because there's no way Goon Squad ever start this dragon with all 10 people on the map. Q lands right there, just a little bit of poke.
Ooh.
Okay, so a little bit of poke. Badger is completely chunky, he has to recall and teleport in. He might even try to match top lane. They're going to cancel the recall with a root and also a Caitlyn ult, although that was blocked.
And
so Gwen is just hitting the top tower. Badger
I
is not
think...
sure what to do. Trying to stay here to protect the Skarner spell shield will completely mess up that ultimate, as Quinn trying to find anything. Gwen is not even teleporting, by the way. God's Glory has to flash out. It is pretty low.
Quinn is just ending the game.
Tower. The recall is coming out from Quinn with that improved recall, but
Stop
actually
the recall.
it's going to get canceled by her death as Gwen continues to pressure. So even though God's Glory started that fight by getting chunked out and they didn't teleport in the Gwen, they get a pick and they're going to get the soul secured.
Yeah, that's 2 turrets going over just there, and we'll also lose dragon, so there goes Soul over to the side of Clown Gaming. I mean, thing is, Cloud Soul would be great for the side of Goon Squad, just because you have that tenacity that comes out from it. So having the tenacity again against this team who all 5 of them have a form of CC, so looks to be not able to get it. We'll just give it over. We'll have to give it over after getting chunked out so much. And I mean, this is a 9k gold lead,
too.
and Baron's up in 23 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like some resets will come out. They're going to take the top side jungle. But we will be seeing a pretty aggressive Clown Squad with this Soul. I imagine that, yeah, Baron, I mean, I've not seen a 25-minute start Baron with Soul in many games. Obviously, with the 25-minute pushback on Baron, it's more common. Or possible, I guess, but it's not very often that you see Soul before Baron even spawns.
Yeah, because usually at least one other team gets it, but pretty much getting it on spawn every single time here. Surprised they aren't just rushing it right now. They have the damage for it, and they definitely have the item lead. It shouldn't be too scared
It is the
of.
3-item Caitlyn, by the way.
Yeah.
As Godscore, he's a little bit caught, but he's Wukong. He'll be fine. And, you know, they can also just use the pressure of their teleport. Super Saiyan did not have to teleport on that last fight, so they don't have to start Baron. They can just send Gwen, be unanswerable. Is Badger really going to try to match Gwen and then also teleport into a fight? I'm not sure. And then only start Baron whenever they feel like they've got a secure advantage. Not worry about the Smite flip or any team fights. Looks like Gwen is actually going to pressure top lane. So this does give Goon Squad a little bit of position around the Baron. As you know, the kid is face checking. But the face check actually goes the other way as the root comes in onto Skarner. Doesn't look like it's going to turn into a fight yet. But there is Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia, Humor actually being the one pressuring the side lane this time. Now, I think Ari has a little bit better of a shot answering Humor. But that is still a lot of pressure. It's another root find Skarner. I don't think they're going to commit. Oh, it's another root with the Trump as well. Ultimate coming out. They have to use Nami ult, and that's probably going to be the signal as Cassiopeia finds the flank as well. Humor has found them, or have they found Humor? Humor getting charged into a wall, getting ultimated.
Maybe?
The Cassiopeia ult will stall a little bit as God's glory is able to find them all with a Wukong ultimate. Badger has the ultimate out of it. Morgana flashing in, and I believe this is going to be the end of the game because they're going to get a clean 5-0, and Clown Gaming has made this into a 2-0 series with a quadra kill for Resilient.
I mean, that is a very easy report, Wukong, for stealing pentakill there. But, I mean, another very quick game for the side of Clown Gaming, bringing this game already to match point after 2 games, not even having about a 50-minute game timer for both games combined. So, if Goon Squad wants to come back, they're going to have to step it up pretty quickly.
And I do think that, unfortunately, game 1, you know, it did feel like both teams had a chance to win at all points of the game. You know, you put it right in the middle of who was going to win until it basically ended. Game 2, it can't be said. You know, there were definitely times where it felt like Onset could maybe get back into the game. Badger definitely had some really good charms. Fort 20, some good picks. However, it does feel like the draft was not able to be converted on in this game, whereas game 1, maybe... You know, maybe you need to bring a little bit more of game 1 back into the draft, basically.
Yeah, again, I think picking the Corki, just then having that outrange from from that Caitlyn, from the Morgana, it just felt so unplayable later in that game. And eventually, of course, Caitlyn just did steamroll the game, had the most damage in that game in the end. So definitely feels pretty bad if you are Goon Squad. But again, this just means that you have to step it up. You're going to have to win the next 3 games. Goon Squad must reverse sweep to be able to just stay in the Crusaders League and stay within contention for that finals game.
And of course, the side selection will once again be available for Goon Squad. So we'll get that information to you as soon as it's available. But yeah, they've definitely got to figure out what they're going to do in draft, because I don't believe that their counter picks work, and this Flex Gwen is absolutely running amok. I mean, arguably, the Flex Gwen wasn't necessarily a problem in Game 2 as much. I mean, Humor went mid and died very quickly to a gank, or Super Saiyan, sorry. Yet, the ability of the Gwen to go top, mid, and jungle at this point, it definitely gives you pause in draft.
Yeah, going to be very strong here. I just think that the damage that Gwen's been able to do right now, being able to have her percent magic damage and everything like that, but it looks like Goon Squad is going to be picking red side this time. Going back to game 1, I think they see that they had a little better chance game 1, right? They were a little closer to each other, so gonna see what they want to bring back. And if they want to bring back the draft of game 1 that they did have.
Absolutely. Or just, you know, figure out if they can figure out some good counter picks. And now that the flexes are a little bit more clear, like, sure, the Gwen apparently goes in 3 different roles, but the Swain, if it gets picked again, you now know it can go support and likely will go support, or at least you're aware of that possibility where maybe they weren't before. And so red side gets a little bit more value whenever more of the cards are on the table.
Yeah, gonna be. I mean, this is the game that decides it all. Well, it can
Well,
be the game. It can be the game that decides it all, right? This could be a 3-0 for the side of Clown Gaming, or Goon Squad can bring it back. Really depends what these players want to be picking. Because I mean, for a ban, Gwen ban. I think put
yeah,
put them on something a little different. Looks like Gwen's been doing pretty well. I think winning a lot, especially in that game too, was able to do a lot. Caitlyn, just steal the Caitlyn yourself, right? But it really depends on, of course, who you're going against. Because I think picking ADC right off the bat is not the worst, but I think there's certain champions that just have really hard counters, and I think in that game having that Caitlyn Morgana, that a very oppressive lane, and of course being able to abuse it now because there are no more lane swaps. Right, you can't lane swap anymore. It's very bad, or at least very bad to lane swap. Right, pretty much nerfed that to the ground and nuked it right afterwards. So we'll have to go against that very oppressive lane, and it doesn't feel the best. So
I do wonder if they have a possible answer to this Jinx B1, because that is what Clown went with game one.
mhm.
It was answered with Sivir Nami, and that was okay, but I think Jinx B1 is vulnerable enough that you can do better. So I think that's really going to be a big question for them, because I think Clown Gaming, they probably are like, yeah, we could just B1 Jinx, it seemed fine.
Mhm.
And the onus is again on Goon Squad to answer that in whatever way they want, whether it be a ban or something else.
Looks like draft has started here, and of course Poppy as the first ban. No changes here. To be honest, I don't think there's going to be much change. I think either the Thresh is going to go or the Kale is going to go. One of those two is really get the Gwen, and we do see the Gwen ban. So we're going to see what's going to trade, and they do pick. Of course, the Zyra being banned as well, but they're going to change to the Syndra ban as compared to
Oh yeah, last time.
the Kindred ban actually, and Talia will be first picked by Clown.
Yeah, I do appreciate this adaptation. You get an extra ban on blue side, you know. Obviously, this is something that they can probably only do with 3 bans. So I believe that this was a plan for game one, and or potentially was the plan in game one, and then they, pivoted to a Jinx pick because they only got 1 ban.
Mhm.
But now they're just absolutely squeezing Badger's Cample because they've banned out the Syndra and they've taken the Talia. So will Badger go back to Ari into this matchup, which was a little rough, as Goon Squad are going to pick bot lane first with Ezreal.
Yeah, really just gonna say, hey, okay, you know what? We're just going to outrange. You're outranging. If you pick that Caitlyn again, just kind of poke as far as you can away. Zinzao is good here, right? Being able to push away anyone that jumps on top of him with that ultimate, and also able to engage as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they want to be piloting that and what Clown has against it. But actually, going to be a Tristana. I mean,
It
gonna be a
could be a
Tristana
Flex
bot
Talia
lane.
as well. Right, so
No,
Tristana,
I don't know how Talia's gonna be flexing into this, just because Talia top lane is just not that good. And I don't think when it's Talia
okay,
support either.
okay. Let me
Not
explain
carry it.
myself. So I don't think it's gonna be Talia support bot lane or top lane. I think it could be Talia jungle, and never mind because Wukong was locked in. So that likely is Talia mid Tristana bot lane. But I was just saying there
Mm-hmm.
was a potential flex, and Clown have been doing flexes.
Okay,
But I
okay.
think
Yeah,
with
Clown
these
does a lot of
three, they're
flexing.
locked in.
Yeah, now
So.
I myself am a Tristana enjoyer. I have her
Mhm.
almost 200,000 mastery, but hopefully we'll see how that's going to be going. I think Tristana's been okay in the meta. She's kind of been nerfed a lot, especially because she was played mid lane, so and really hasn't been able to cover as much. So going to see how it's going to go, and also what build, right? Because we do have some different builds. Yuntal's collect the first item. Do they go Navori? Do they go IE second? I think Navori is very powerful on Tristana to be able to get the bomb, boom, 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 but a lot of players have different preferences, but of course, it does have the bouncy castle, right? Being able to have the Wukong ult, Talia pushback, right, on the rock slam, gonna feel really bad. But Oriana pick here for Goon Squad, for Badger, gonna be just trying to get as many ults as he can get off.
Yeah, and we're gonna go back to the aggressive support bans for Goon Squad. They've banned Leona all 3 games or all both games so far in previous drafts, and Nautilus one of them. And I imagine, I mean, is it just gonna be a Leona ban? It
Just a
might
Leona
be a
ban,
little bit
okay.
easier to play Leona into Ezreal or play Ezreal into Leona, so maybe it'll escape a ban this time. But
Ooh.
Well, see, no, it's Blitzcrank ban with the Ezreal already picked. It looks like they're worried about the team fights later, I imagine, because you
Hmm.
definitely feel comfortable with Ezreal into Blitzcrank, but
Yeah, having
just with the
the random
Tristana.
blitz hook. Whee!
So
Because
Malphite
yeah.
ban for Clown Gaming is also interesting. Uh, with their team fight comp already kind of showing a little bit, the Quinn ban makes more sense after game two.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what Goon Squad is going to blind pick. I imagine it's the support. I feel like you already see the Tristana. You know what kind of lane you're playing into. You have Ezreal, so you're not really worried about showing your cards. You're just going to pick some kind of support that goes with whatever you're going to draft in general.
I mean, you can always pick Nami game three, like or the for the third game in a row. But it looks like they're gonna be pivoting to the Braum. You of course really love that shield, but ooh, a kill pick here has been banned all 2 games, but has now been left open by Goon Squad. So could we see a super slain Kale? I mean, I
Kale
would love
blind
to see
pick.
Kale because usually you never see Kale
It's
in
definitely
any
a
elo above
2-0
anyway.
series. Yeah, this is a
Mm-hmm.
2-0 series kind of pick because I don't think you blind pick Kale in many opportunities, but you know what? If you're 2-0, just even close it out with them not being able to answer the Kale. Just keep asking them questions until they run out of answers.
Mm-hmm.
As the Bard is also potentially locked in.
Now, talk about a roaming comp here. You have the bar that can go anywhere, Talia that can go anywhere, right? KL just TPs anywhere as well. And of course, just on it, Bester jumps everywhere. So just gonna be
420
running
has a
around.
lot of pressure on him right now, though, because
Oh
Kale has
yeah.
just been locked in. He's got his Zhao. You
Oh, there's an assist.
okay?
Talk about
That is not the.
talk about
Yep,
top lane scaling though.
that was not the direction I was expecting because you have the Zhao. You just saw blind pick Kale. I imagined that they were going to go for the pressure. However, they pivot and go for the scaling instead, which means that Zhao can focus on bot lane, which maybe was why the Xin was picked. So I respect that there are other options for top lane, but it definitely wasn't the direction I was expecting.
I mean, wouldn't you want to range top lane against Kale? Put her on the back foot super early, right? Maybe get a. It's a little troll there for Goon Squad, but they got to pick something, right? A Teemo top lane, right? Keep Kale off of the wave so early with, of course, this Teemo Q right there, right? Constant pressure on the Kale, not able to really get in any fight, not able to get to level 6 until very late, right? Or at least, even if you get level 6, you're going to be down so much CS that it's going to be really hard for Kale to get back in the game. And, I mean,
I do feel like
against.
that's the traditional strategy. I just think that the only reason you wouldn't go for that is if the Zen is basically locked in bot lane. And that's a fair strategy. I mean, the bot lane has been so volatile in all these games. It basically won the game for Clown Gaming last time. So I respect basically saying this Zen is going to be spending 90% of the time bot lane. If you pick a range top into kill and commit the Zen bot lane, that goes really bad for the range top laner if the enemy jungler does anything, and you also have the Talia showing. So I kind of get it, but yeah, it does feel weird not having the pressure on the kill.
Yeah, definitely could have had some changes, but again, this is a 2-0 game, right? Gonna see can Kale, can Super Slan actually perform on his number one I guess. Yeah, actually number one champion, at least in win rate, because 38% win rate on 16 games on Ambessa is not going to be your number one
Okay,
champion right
you
there.
don't have to shout that out. Okay, you don't. You can
The,
just
the,
let
it,
that.
it, it is Super Slane's second best champion this season, at least. 67% win rate, that's what you got to go for. So, gonna say, you know what, put me on something that's a little better here, what I'm a little more comfortable in. If we lose this game, oh well, we'll just win the next game. We'll go 3-1, right? But maybe putting on something more comfort, saying that, hey, trust in me that I can carry Kale late game, and I will delete everyone on the team, of course, when you buy.
You know, this also kind of sets up a trap a little bit of if Clown go red side again. Now Goon Squad have to be aware of the Kale, which I guess they would have been aware of before because they banned it. So I don't know
Mhm.
how valid that is, but it does kind of say like, hey, you can't really blind pick top lane anything that would go poorly into Kale, but they were already banning, so I don't think that's really that valid. It's just interesting to think of the strategy whenever you're up 2-0. You have so many options for not
Mhm.
only winning game 3, but also setting up a draft where you win game 4 and game 5 as well.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna feel a little, to be honest, a little safer, right? Having that buffer zone, They just have to win a single more game. That's all they have to do. While Goon Squad, of course, has to win 3 in a row to be able to stay in this game, or stay in this tournament, I should say here. Stay in the Crusaders League for the winter split. So it's gonna be tough, I will say, for the side of Goon Squad to be able to come off. Because game one, of course, like I said, it was very kind of roller coastery. It was like one, even though it ended in 23 minutes, it was they have a chance. Oh, they came back. Oh, it was really back and forth. A lot of kills. It was almost like it was a kill a minute. Afterwards, way more at 16 minutes. But game two, it just felt like it was always in Clown Gaming's hands, and that Goon Squad which wasn't able to do anything in those fights.
And I will say, I'm just gonna lock it in. Maybe I'll cast a curse it again. Surely in the Kale versus Nasus game, we will not get a 23-minute or less game. But it could happen. Surely. We've also got Tristana as well. It just feels like this game is gonna last a little bit longer. We're gonna have to find out after a quick break, and then we get into potentially the final game of the series of Cloud Gaming versus Goon Squad. Welcome to Game 3 of Goon Squad versus Clown Gaming, and Goon Squad are fighting for their tournament lives, and they're fighting together in this bush, as the enemy team is also fighting together in a bush, all the way across the map.
Earth? Is this Earth here? Oh, 5-man top lane for the side of Clown Gaming. They're like, hey, we'll just what if, or sorry, not Comic, sorry, Goon Squad. They're like, we're playing to play Earth. What if we just go top lane here? That's so fun. But it looks like they're just sitting in bushes. We love this
Well,
handshake, right? We
Goon
just
Squad
disappear.
or Clown Gaming do have a deeper bush that they've gone into, which means deeper wards, which means more information. But they do also have to send their bot lane pretty far back.
They're just. This is great. This is really fun to watch. Of everyone just kind of walking together, like, oh no, what if they're in this bush? But
Yeah, I feel
this
like
bush as
Onset
well.
has to be a little scared of walking to bot lane. Luckily for him, the enemy team did not invade during the timer. But right now they're gonna have to face check a lot of bushes, and so, we know that Onset is safe, but his heart rate is probably a little bit higher than normal walking to lane.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a little scary right there. But really, I mean, this game, I want to be looking top lane. I think these two people are just going to be these scaling monsters, and just how much are they going to be able to do here? Ooh. Oh,
This is the most
trade
aggressive
for it.
I've seen Super or Kale be able to be level 1, and I guess it's
Yeah.
just gonna be one of those matchups you don't see very often. But as mid lane also going pretty aggressively as well. But Zen versus Wukong, I feel like the junglers can be here at any moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if mid laners right now are calling for the jungler to drop some camps, because that is so aggressive for both mid laners right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they want to be pathing, and if they will be like going, ooh. So, just on a resilience, maybe get
Artemis
that.
is taking a lot of damage.
Well.
Jump in. The shield will do a lot. Exhaust as well. Use heal coming out. Resilient taking a lot of follow-up damage, but it's Ezreal, so he's not really able to get any further damage out. It's a lot of summoners trade 2 for 2, but Resilient kept both of his summoners while Onset had to use his exhaust.
You have to be careful though. Ooh, stun comes
Oh,
in.
that stun is also pretty big. I don't think that Tristana can jump in on this, but it will mean Onset's health is just about as low as the supports.
Yeah, so it's gonna be have to kind of walk back. Potions already used. Bard doesn't have flash or that ignite, but I mean, there's no exhaust and there's no heal for the side of Goon Squad. They have to be careful. So, I mean, again, if Resilient is able to just get if Kid gets a single stun onto one of the two, I think as long as Resilient hits the bomb just right and able to get that passive or the bomb stack on the bomb landing, it's gonna be hurt, and that might even be a kill early as well.
Roger hits level 4 there. I really thought he was going to get stunned up by that, but he just walks out, flashes in, gets the auto attack, and Humor has to flash out. This mid lane is so aggressive, and neither jungler is coming to it either as a mid laner. I'm crying out for a jungler, but it does look like Badger gets the benefit of it for now.
Yeah. We'll get the little better wave advantage here, but I mean, Xin is in the area, right? Burby is available for this bot lane here, so we'll have to be careful for Resilient and the Kid. Looks like the guy is going to be walking down here. Doesn't have vision either, so they're walking up a little far forward, and this could be first death here for Resilient.
Yeah, the stun also is going to come out on Kid. He does use Portal if he can stall it long enough, but he can't because the E4 from Onset. Now, Onset is a little committed. Zen also finds Resilient. Onset almost dies to Bard, but does get first blood. And like I said from Champion Select, it seems like Burby World's entire plan hinges on being around bot lane. And so far, it has gotten them first blood.
I am surprised now that I'm looking down at the CS difference that top lane has. How is Kale beating Nasus right now?
Oh, Artemis trying to force in the wave. Resilient staying. That means Onset's also going to stay, but I believe he was on a ward, so they should know he's here. They now definitely know he's here. Humor has come down from mid lane. Flash in from Tristana. WE means that Resilient is taking a lot of damage. Ezreal will go down. Resilient is able to jump out because of the reset, and they will pick up 2 kills. And now it doesn't look so clear for the bot lane.
And you gave the kills. I mean, yes, it wasn't to Tristana, but at least you're giving it to, the Bard wasn't there, so not able to actually get, -1 there, but not able to get the kills on the Bard, so you're not giving away anything, so.
That's crazy. All right, he's trying his best. All right, bot auto attacks are not going to get cannon very often. As Burby also gets out a ghost from Super Saiyan, which is, an effective gank, but it definitely doesn't feel as good as what just happened bot lane.
Yeah, it does get the ghost, but Super Saiyan should be able to get that range, or not the range, sorry.
Support fight.
Kid?
I don't think that anyone's really going to come to this. Bard can obviously walk out as well, so it's just about
Level 6
vision.
for Kale, so now has range, but ooh, Humor's gonna have to be careful here.
Humor does not have flash, does have W. W's into the tower. However, Oriana is able to get the damage out, and Burby doesn't care about taking tower. God's Glory is going to look to try to get some pressure on the wave, but there's absolutely no kill pressure here.
I mean, this is the beginning that you really this is the early game that you really want for the.
That's an amazing stun, by the way. Just
Yeah, but this is a great for early game that you really want as Goon Squad, right? You have, I mean, yes, it's only 300 gold, but you at least have a little better of a game state than you did have earlier in the last 2 games. So it will just be a dragon for Grubs trade. So at least Goon Squad do get a dragon this game, but is going to, again, simple trade for the Dexys. But ooh, Resilient might actually die here and give over the first.
I mean, I imagine he's going to be able to walk away, but Braum is going to land the Q, which means the jump has to be used. However, there's just no wave. So even though Xin is crazy aggressive, there's no way he flashes in on this, right? And it looks like he will be able to recall.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy right now. Everyone, the thing is, Tristana doesn't have flash or barrier, and there are all 4 sums here on the side. Ooh.
Artemis is a little committed here. The stun comes out beautifully onto the minion. Shield will protect him, however, and Kid just doesn't have that. So the trades will come out for supports. Exhaust used, Ignite also used. Jump in, Onset has to flash out. Resilient doesn't have any sums left yet, however. So it looks like it will just be a 1-for-1 trade as the supports handshake. Oh, Badger is going to find a lot of damage onto Humor. There's also a Wukong here, however. Flashes in for the ultimate, but I don't know if Humor can come in. Because Oriana ult is going to be used just on Wukong, trying to get him out. Tristana's
also in the area, though. Can't jump.
I think Badger's going to walk into a Tristana, and that's just an E-auto into a death unless shield is enough.
Ooh,
Ezreal ult also finds him, so he does get killed on Resilient. And it's just so funny how the mid lane play flows into the bot lane play.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not going to feel the best, right? That shield just came up in time for the Oriana, so he is able to get that kill in the end, or doesn't get the kill onto the Oriana, and of course, Ezreal gets the kill as well. That's a 3-in-1 Ezreal. That's what you want to be seeing on set.
Kid has come top lane. This is a Nasus ult plus a full wave. However, there's no mana left on 420. Q only costs 20 mana, so at least he can throw out those. However, he's just trying to run away. Burby is here, gets onto Kid, who is a level 4 Bard. That guy has to flash out and portal out. Super Saiyan might try to go for the portal. Knockup isn't available, so it looks like it'll just be summoners traded, but no actual kills go over in the top lane play.
Yeah, I mean, the ult came out for the Xin Zhao as well, trying to get that, trying to survive. Let's for 420 survive. Does survive in the end, so gonna be at least healthy enough for it. But I mean, bot lane has a 500 gold lead for that Ezreal. There's a 200 gold lead mid lane for the Oriana, but after that, there's not much. There is a little.
If the Q lands here,
might be dead here. Nope.
No, you could definitely just W out even if the Q lands, but it does mean that his ability to defend this wave is really hard. In fact, Onset could just freeze here and deny all of this that's here, and maybe the next wave as well. As you can see, Bard is trying to get any kind of shove possible, but Artemis can tank anything he wants. Looks like they're going to just set up a freeze.
But looking at this, I think that if you are Clown Gaming, I think you just go push for that Grubs, right? Got to get that top wave, keep Wukong top lane, try to get the top wave pressure, try to get that mid wave pressure so that you can go for the Grubs. Because of course you do have Tristana, you have someone that has a very good tower clearing, right, with the bomb on top, and you really do not want the Nasus to be having those Grubs, right? You don't want that side pushing Nasus that just says, I don't care about tower, or I don't care about team fights. I'm just gonna go for these towers here, right? Copy what Super did in game 2 with the Gwen, where the fight's happening. I'm just gonna go take every single tower top lane that exists.
I think Kid doesn't have ultimate though, so I don't think this is actual real pressure. But both bot lane is at that mid side. I think they're just gonna go back bot lane. So. But that is kind of an interesting commitment. I think on set, Artemis finds Shadow the Kid. This is no old Bard as well, so the stun will come out. No portal available either. Kid will go down, and Resilient has to jump away. Gets stunned under tower barrier as used as well. Ultimate from Ezreal. Artemis even lives from the tower shot, so this Ezreal is absolutely snowballing, and it looks like Oriana got some of that too.
Yeah, right there, the level up for the Bard there really saved him right there. So Ezreal's going to be able to get a couple turret plates here for that gold influx, and of course, not going well. I think that kid, the kid really has to kind of be careful here. Stay back a little further because again, giving over 3 kills over to Ezreal's not feeling that good, and of course, but I mean, at least there's a shutdown. So if Tristana can get a good jump, it can do some. But I mean, that's a 1.2k gold lead for Ezreal, so it's going to be hard to do so.
Yeah, and then top lane we have this Nasus versus Kale matchup. Kale is at level 9, so a little far away from her power spikes. Nasus almost has 200 stacks. So that is like just, we've got this Ezreal dynamic in the bot lane, and then top lane they're just kind of chilling. 0-0-0 equals CS. Bunch of stacks for Nasus. As it looks like Super Saiyan will walk away slowly and get cued in the face.
Yep, and that also is Grubs going over to the side of Goon squad. So this is going to be a trade of 3-3 Grubs. Again, I really think that if they didn't have that lane, or if they didn't have that kill bot lane, I think that God's
here.
Glory would have been able to push there. But oops.
Super Saiyan has no flash. The E onto the minion wave to make sure the slow hits. 420. He gets the slow. Ultimate and Kale, they're just going to back off from it though. Nasus ult also means pretty tanky. Humor is available. Gets the stun. 420 will die. Burby's going to flash in. Also get the kill on Kale. And then E out. So Burby playing that really well. I think that, however, the wall from Humor is going to find his life.
I mean, that looked like that was a really good play there getting, but using both ultimates, having to use the flash and the ghost from Nasus, and the only trade you get is the ultimate, and you get a 1 kill over right on the Kale, who really isn't doing too well anyways, doesn't actually have a shutdown or anything, was only had died once previously, so isn't going to feel too bad. So
Oriana's using a lot of tempo here to teleport top lane. Humor has to flash. However, Badger still has ultimate available, uses it with his head, and I think Humor's just dead. Here comes God's Glory, maybe to protect his laner. The Q will come down for a shutdown. However, God's Glory will get the counter shutdown.
Yeah, and of course that shutdown on Oriana is just a little more, right? Because that is the first death that Oriana does have. So, I mean, in the end, I think it's going to be really good. You really do want your Wukong very strong here in this game because your bot lane's kind of behind. So, if that Wukong can really get in, be able to get those knockups onto the people you need, right? Jump onto Badger, jump onto Onset. It's gonna feel really good. Dope.
So we're gonna have a pause. So I guess we have some more time to talk about some stuff. I do appreciate that the top laners are still essentially exactly equal. They're no longer 0-0-0. Oh, unpause. So never mind about that. As Bardold comes out on Ezreal, I believe we're gonna get a counter. Or Tristana jumps in onto Artemis. Shield is going to do a lot. Not enough though. He goes down. Exhaust comes out on a Resilient for barrier, ulting Onset out, and then there's that buffer pause. But we're gonna get back into it pretty quickly. I think that's the end of the play though, so we can go back to talking about kills and Nasus.
Yeah, I mean, in this fight, it looks like Nasus does have a about 300 gold lead here, so it's still pretty even here. There's no items yet on each champion, but Resilient.
That Q's pretty massive. Yeah, Resilient has to walk away, jump away, and that means the entire next wave is Ezreal's to claim.
Yeah,
eventually that played as well.
Gonna be a little scary if you are Resilient in that fight. I mean, you did get a kill back, so I mean that evens the gold out to an 11k or 1100 gold lead for the side of the Ezreal. So still has a long way to go before that Tristana can actually get back.
Anglers are finding each other right now. I don't think they're gonna commit here, but it's a little scary for the Wukong with Braum also in the area. And I mean, this mid lane matchup that has migrated to the top lane also, I mean, as much as the, two scaling champions seems chill, Oriana versus Taliyah has just gone back and forth. And almost Seraph's Embrace finish for Taliyah. So that'll give her a little bit of safety, but I don't know. Humor and Badger are at each other's throats constantly, feels like.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, in this fight here, I mean, it's going to be really hard to see who's going to be coming out on top. I mean, there's pretty close.
Oh, there's a knock though. Oriana is stunned under tower. Has to use the shield. Q blocked. Oh, Oriana ults as well, but the Seraph's Embrace. Shield means that Taliyah will get the kill, and there's no counter kill available for Badger.
Yeah, so gonna feel pretty good for the Taliyah, right? You really want the Taliyah to be strong here. Ooh. Kid's gonna have to be a little careful here.
That might be first tower as well. Both opposite sides, the towers are racing. I believe Taliyah gets it first. However, Onset is trying to get this tower, but the wave is just gone. Resilient has too much wave clear. Meanwhile, there's no one to wave clear here, so even though Humor is low health, and the wave is dissipating now, I believe that they will get first tower. Ezreal trying to answer, can't quite find Talia though.
Doesn't have TP on anyone, unless Nasus wants to TP top lane to try to stop this fight here. Uh-oh.
God's Glory trying to commit in, uses clone to get out. And this 3v2, or 3v3, I just don't think it ends up with a tower for them. Talia, however, did recall. She was worried
Or it
about
will
a
go
teleport
down, though.
behind. And it does go down 2 minions alone.
Yeah, so it will matter on who gets this final dragon or Rift Herald. Of course, Rift Herald does spawn in 20 seconds, so there could be the feats going over to, again, whoever takes the next epic dragon will get those new shiny shoes. So gonna have to keep an eye out on that fight there as well, because I think both teams definitely do want, those upgraded boots, get that extra move speed that it comes with, and of course being able to buy a new passive as well definitely feels pretty good.
So Rift Herald just spawned about 30 seconds before Dragon. However, they're not committing to it, so essentially both objectives will be available at the same time. As you can see, Kale's like near the Rift Herald. I don't think she's going to start that by herself, so it really will come down to which objective happens across the map. As Kid has to flash. Resilient using the ultimate. Kid still engaged on, though. The Bard ult finds other people, but it doesn't matter. Burby can kill him alone, except he can't because of the stun.
Ooh,
Meanwhile, God's Glory plus the wall means that Kid will live. However, they are committed to this dragon. I believe that will be Feats of Glory and their second dragon. Because even though you saved the Bard, I don't think you want to fight this dragon.
Yeah, unless watch the Wukong though. Could be trying to go for the steal here. Yeah.
He goes into the pit. They're trying to go on to him immediately. He does get the steal though. He will die for it. So you have to question, is the dragon plus feats worth it? Probably, but they will lose more on the map for this.
I mean, you did waste the Orianna ult as well, though, and of course, I think the benefit is Guard lived.
A lot of time on top tower as well.
Yeah, so I mean, you are getting a lot of things out of it, and I don't think they can start Rift Herald. Yeah, as you see, they're jumping on to Burby. So I mean, in the end, it's not too bad of a fight.
Well, they are looking for humor here. Kale and Bard are also pretty committed. I mean, this is an interesting wraparound. Nasus can't join, though. Artemis is really aggressively positioned, but he's kind of alone. Burby wants the crab, not the fight, and Artemis has to use heal to get out. Now the fight is more attractive to Burby as they get the kill, who wasn't able to use ultimate.
Yeah.
And that will probably eventually be the Rift Herald due to Artemis's adventurous choice that I guess baited in the enemy team.
Unless here comes the Wukong.
Yeah,
again.
God's Glory's got a really good angle. Does not have ultimate yet though, so is only using
Stolen again.
The steal, and is also able to secure it plus a kill for himself. Meanwhile, bot lane Onset gets the kill onto Resilient 1v1. Nasus has ulted. It's still getting chased. Bartle will make him walk back into the enemy team. Artemis using the ultimate to try to block. Wall comes out though. Flash over her own wall as God's Glory will pick up for 20. But sorry, that wasn't flash over her own wall. I mistracked who was going where, but yeah. So,
I mean, in this, I mean, that definitely did feel pretty good if you are.
Humor might. No, he's just stopping the back. No way that they're diving. Surely, with no Bartle.
But that is going to be Rift Herald most likely put mid lane, right? Everyone has to back, clear the wave, just put it mid lane, get this mid tier 2, right? And I mean, that definitely, that's going to be hurting the mental of Goon Squad, right? Because you just had 2 objectives stolen back to back. Little miss there with that plant there, but again, that was 2 objectives being stolen back to back there. So definitely doesn't feel the
Burby looking for humor, does get on top of him, has to flash out. Now Burby in trouble himself. Will go down except for the ultimate plus flash. The ultimate times out, and it looks like it's a 1-for-1. Onset in trouble too. Saiyan, meanwhile, bot lane, Orianna ult was able to get him in. Kale once again not using ultimate. They do get the mid tower, and it's a 1-for-1 mid. Onset fighting Kid. This is a support versus AD carry. Finally, the AD carry comes in, flashes in as well. Flash out. Artemis will go down, and they get 2 towers here, while also getting a 2-for-1.
Are they going to be able to kill Badger? No, it doesn't look like they're going to go for it.
Okay, Resilient has just committed to the Herald. I don't know if that's a good idea. There's no Orianna ult at least. However, okay, it looks like without the Orianna ult, Resilient will be able to walk away. A really aggressive ride of the Herald, though.
Yeah, I mean that is a 2-item. That's a 2-item Ezreal, so you definitely want to be careful there. Tristana only has a single item, doesn't actually have the IE being built just yet, so gonna have to be very careful here. But I mean, I mean, this really is a fight. This is a game, right? Fighting back and forth, very close in gold. I mean, this really does feel like what game 2 or game 1 felt like, right? Each team having their lead, throwing it afterwards. They're doing close enough where this game is on a knife's edge, and eventually is gonna go to one team. And to be honest, I think this game will be decided after a single fight. Like,
Yeah,
it
and
might even be this
Ezreal.
Otacon.
There's still this Ezreal. Has not died since that early gank. Has 5 kills for himself. Is finishing a 3rd item pretty soon. I do feel like Ezreal's right in his stride. And, you know, he does have to pass the torch into the Nasus and Kale eventually. But for right now, Onset basically dictates the pace of the game. Where Goon Squad wants to do the fights. Where Goon Squad is going to have power. As you can see, the jungler playing around him as well. Kid might find something here. Can't quite find the stun though. So they will back off. And I do think this lane matchup is kind of interesting because they've also swapped the solo lanes where Orianna's matching Kayle and Nasus is matching Talia. I feel like that's much worse for Nasus.
I mean, Nasus right now has 447 stacks at 21 minutes. I'm surprised they did walk away from that dragon already. Or sorry, not the dragon, sorry, the Otacon, right? I would have expected an
Oh,
Otacon.
God's Glory trying to... Never mind, he's taking me out. Continue.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's a huge stun. Maybe he's not faking me out because I think God's Glory can E in very soon. Onset might have to E out. Will do so. And this gives them position on Dragon. But again, that Ezreal is very strong. Half health, though, and does not have exhaust yet. So I'm not sure if they're going to commit here.
Yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, there is Rift Herald taken for the side of Goon Squad, right? Has that Rift Herald in though there, so we'll be able to see what's happening. But they are just gonna jump on the dragon. They're like, hey, I know there's Otacon there, but what if we just get dragon? Uh-oh. Kid might be dead here.
I think Badger's not going to commit here for Bard because he wants to ult for the fight. However, that means Dragon will go down. Oh, that's a knock on 2 people. That's pretty massive. However, Orianna just chunks out God's Glory. Meanwhile, Resilient is jumped on by Xin. They have to commit the Kayle ultimate. Someone is surely going to go down here as Kayle can flash away the stun in from Bard. And I guess no one will go down.
Watch
Everyone
Onset
just got out.
I mean, they're gonna get Otacon off this unless we watch God's Glory. He has ultimate, but I think it's gonna go down too quickly
for the 3rd steal in a row. That would be absurd. It does look like he's committing for something. I just don't know if he's really gonna wrap around all the way. Yeah.
He won't get there in time though, but it looks like mid turret is or at least they're just getting that mid push, right? Getting Kayle top lane as well. So again, this game really is on a knife's edge right now. Who knows where this game's gonna go, right? The trade.
Wukong's kind of committed here, by the way. He isn't starting recall. God's Glory does have ability to get out. Does go on to Burby with Kid available as well. Zen ult used, Ezreal ult used, and they just get a kill! And this Ezreal's unstoppable even from a screen away. Kid also having to portal out, having to flash out, but the Orianna makes chase pretty good. Talia plus stun. Zen has no ultimate. He's ignited. I believe he is dead.
No shield comes out though. Double shield.
Oh my goodness. And
that's 30 health right now.
That's the play that God's Glory chose and for himself, and unfortunately just doesn't go his way.
Yeah, again, but I mean, it's only a 500 gold difference right here, and it's of course Soul Point going to Goon Squad. Yeah, sorry, not Goon Squad. Sorry, Clown Gaming. So I mean, in 3 minutes there could be a fight, or of course, or in who knows, they could start up Baron in a single minute, right? Have that SKT Baron jump in here, but. Looks like they're just gonna go for this bot turret and maybe have a Fnatic Death Brush just in case someone walks up a little too far.
And we've got some nice power spikes coming in here. Nasus has 500 stacks. Kayle is almost level 15, I believe. Let me click. Halfway, so not quite. But those scalers are definitely scaling. However, Ezreal is definitely still just absolutely dictating this game pace. As Bardolt will try to protect the tower. That minion does not know what to do. He's like, what's going on? Kirby taking the tower as well. They get a stun on Badger. Badger goes down without using ultimate. Kirby just has to commit to something. It's not good though. And they lose 2 people right before Baron spawns, including their jungler.
And
Resilient also hitting the bot tower.
Lane. just getting bot turret as well, and Baron spawning up right now, so they could just say, hey, if 2 of them are down, their jungler is down as well. Let's just go for this Baron.
Does look like with their Zillion being bot lane, they don't want to commit because of how long it would take, and because Badger has teleport whenever he's up.
But Fort
Plus,
does not.
Ezreal having so much damage means that, you know, it would be hard to take Baron in the face of a 6-kill Ezreal. So I respect it. 3-item Ezreal probably stops you in your tracks whenever you're already chunked from getting the pick that you did. But you can at least get vision control with this Bard, so it's not completely without play other than the kill. They get the bot lane, as you said, and they've got so much pressure on this top side.
Yeah, looks like God's Core is just like, you know what? I really need to farm this game. I have not been able to get my farm at all. But
Humor
even
does
then,
another
it's
knock
still...
as well. Nasus has ultimate, so I don't think he's in danger yet, but it's certainly getting to that point. He actually wants to go in. W not very effective against Talia, who knocks him away. And while
Solo
Wukong is here to
bolo.
watch, Humor gets a solo kill onto 420.
Yeah, I mean, it's just doing so much here. I mean, I'm assuming... What is it? Double...
Face checking into Zen, and portal's out. That's just the Bard thing.
What? Double recursive bow. I would say like, oh, Nash's Tooth, but I'm not sure what that build is. Is that... Oh, Wit's End. It's probably Wit's End. It's Wit's End. Okay, it's Wit's End. Another thing, it's Wit's End because you really want that auto attack right with the Bard, with using his as many meeps as he can in these fights here. Again, but right now looks like Cloud Gaming is just saying, you know what, we are ahead.
I mean,
so
Soul spawning in 40 seconds.
Yeah,
And
so
it's kind of
just push
hard.
waves.
Right, but onset once again, 3 items. Although Tristana now has 3 items with that inner tower take. And you can see that Onset doesn't even have tier 2 boots right now. I didn't even notice that before. Obviously for Ezreal, it's a little bit less impactful. Super Saiyan. Matching Orianna, I do think that Orianna can punish a little bit, but Super Saiyan is level 15. About, I want to say 3 waves away from level 16. So there are definitely opportunities there for Kale to hit that level 16 power spike. But Soul spawning
down now because doesn't have TP.
Yeah, Zen has got a flank position. God's Glory jumping in onto him. Ezreal trying to put down some damage right now, but it's only a clone. Meanwhile, Zen's out is jumped on. Bard ult also prevents a lot of damage. And now,
watch Resilient though. Resilient's doing damage.
I just don't think Onset can do much right now. Badger looking for an ultimate. Nice double stun. God's Glory also looking for Badger. Will go down. Can't even finish the ultimate on Resilient, which would have been massive. Onset just can't carry this by himself. Because 420 is down. Onset is just trying his best, but his team is falling around him. As he will also go down after at least killing the Kale. But that will be an ace. And they have the opportunity for Clown Gaming to either go for turrets or go for soul.
I mean, being that the only person alive soon is Burby, they're just going to say, hey, let's just run it down. We have the Tristana. We can probably at least get a single turret here, probably get the inhibitor as well. I think going for the end is a little greedy here, but I mean, they're just going to go for it. They say, hey, we have Tristana. We can do it.
Yeah, Zen now is up. Badger is up soon. Tristana, they don't have Tristana because Burby just went in and assassinated 2 people. Also flashes out, so he potentially could contest Soul as well. So it might be a bit of an overstep for Clown Gaming. I mean, I don't know, because it's a little hard for them to go out with their base like this. Talia also has the opportunity to set up a trap. But that is Soul that Clown Gaming just gave up. I mean, not like as in the enemy team has Soul, but they could have gotten Soul. And now they're in a position where they might not even get it.
Yeah, I think that...
Talia's setting up a trap.
I don't think Talia's going to get it.
But it looks like Artemis. Yeah, you can't trap on Artemis. As the poke comes out, trying to get the passive down, can't quite get it, knocks away. And that's part of it, a burst damage. I mean, Wukong has the opportunity to jump into the pit and steal this once again for Soul.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it twice already, back to back. Could be the 3rd time.
The spawns are also out. Wall's pretty impressive, but they're not going to commit on it. It's too hard to jump on Zen. God's Glory is in the pit right now. Meanwhile, on the top side, that is a really big Talia W can't quite hit. Wukong will go down, so there's no steal potential. And it looks like they've stopped the Soul for now. However, they do have to walk away from this fight.
Resilient is here.
Threat. Bard is just going into 4 people. I don't know about that. He's followed up by Slayer. Or Slayer, who finds the Kale ult, will get Bard. Will get.
Watch Resilience just shredding him in the back though.
Resilient is able to get the back line. Orianna trying to follow up with follow-up damage, so it will be a 4 for 3. But that was really an aggressive Bard portal, and it almost worked for them, but I don't know.
It was
That is
too
quite the
staggered.
take.
It was just too staggered right there. Should have not jumped in there. Or at least Bard should not have walked in there too quickly. Should have tried to like stay out right there. But I mean, in the end, it's just gonna be able to. Tristana's the only one alive, but they do, yeah, like, I mean, that's a really big, or at least it is a small win for the side of Goon Squad, right? Keeping them just a little bit in the game, getting the dragon, getting 4 kills instead of 4 kills to 3. Tristana's the only one alive, so can't really do too much right now. Doesn't want to be pushing her opportunity too much, right? But Baron is up, and I mean, you can look for Baron because you have. I mean, and also you have a 10-4 and 10 to lead. You have damage.
And now we see that Kale is at level 16. Nasus is at 621 stacks, but I just don't know that if that's as relevant as the level 16 Kale. And the bot lane inhibitor being down also means this Baron is so much pressure for Clown Gaming right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, again, even though Clown Gaming is winning, I think that because of that play there, doesn't get the soul. They're gonna be. It's gonna be. It's still close no matter what. I still think Goon Squad has a chance to bring this game to a game 4 here because Onset, yes, has now lost his insane gold lead. Is actually behind on gold now, right?
Oh, they're just gonna
Losing
start the
that, but
Baron.
have
There's
Nasus.
only so many blue trinkets. Nasus is teleporting for a flank position. It just might be too late, however. Talia also has wall available. They are going to stop the Baron, and that will be teleport used. Bard has got a really crazy flank, by the way. God's Glory gets some health back. Nasus, 420, jumped on right now, has to ghost out, finds a Bard, gets stunned, and he's a 1v4, so he will go down. They're just going to base race for Baron, potentially, but they've also got the bot inhib to deal with. It looks like it will be the Baron for the base. I think that they can't really trade for mid inhib. Surely you get the mid inhib and then lose the game.
Or Talia
teleport
just
for
goes
bot
to
lane,
TP
so
for
they
the
can't take the mid inhibitor. Talia is teleporting for the end of the game. They teleport the Orianna to make sure she can't, but that protects their mid inhib, so they only get the tower. Bard will also stop the recalls. And a very smart Talia teleport might have just won them the game because Kid now finds Xin Zhao, and Artemis and Onset are trying to run for their lives. Burby will not be so lucky. He will absolutely fall down. Will not even pick up the Bard. Humor trying to flank on 2 people. Finds
Just get a knock
the
on Onset,
fed
though. Onset's low.
Onset's just dead, I think. Shield comes out, but there's a Kale hitting you. That's going to be all of your members dead except for Orianna. I don't believe Badger can hold this. Will this be the 3-0 from Clown Gaming?
I think this will. There's still 32 seconds left on the Xin Zhao. I mean, it's a 5. Yeah, it's gonna be a 5 for 4 or 5 for 2 base defense here, and you only have a single turret right now. So second, actually no, it looks like this tier. It looks like it has come up. Just visual bug on our end
Orianna for
here.
the wave, but Brazilian just jumps in. He can do this because he's got a Kale available as well. Finds the
Gets it
Orianna
as well.
on the fountain. 420. It's trying to hold against 4 people. The 5th one is joining now. Tower 1 down. Nasus down, but the inhibitor respawns. I cannot believe it.
No.
I don't think it matters. Onset has even called it, as Burby is trying to fight the Kale ult. Finds 1, finds 2. They will have all the time in the world to get that inhibitor and then get the Nexus. It will be a 3-0 for Clown Gaming, and they will secure a spot in the semifinals.
And with that, we will have to say 0-7 to the side of Goon Squad. They tried their best, but I think after that game 1, especially again, they had a 3K gold lead, and then afterwards just kind of went, ooh. You know, they kind of let it go a little bit. But with that, again, that's going to be a 3-0 for us here. We will see Clown Gaming be playing on April 2nd. So that is next week on Wednesday. And they will be playing the winner of either Pandora Panda Fighters or Syndicate Reds. The winner of that will be going to the week 3 of playoffs, their semifinal game, for the chance of being in the finals.
And I have to say, it's really impressive from Clown Gaming. I mean, not only did they clearly win 3 games, with the second game being a stomp, and drawing out that 3rd game to a very nice victory, they also showed such a variety of strategies, not only with the flex specs, Gwen being played by 2 different players, one of them going in a lane where they don't normally go as well originally. They've just got 3 different draft strategies in these games, you could say. And I feel like they're definitely going to be someone to watch for the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I think Clan has a chance, right? Clan, and of course, you also, in the end, you still have to look for NO Phoenix. But actually, right now, NO Phoenix is actually down 2-1 on Bloom Gaming Lotus. So the tournament favorites right now are actually on the back pedal. But again, they can still win. It is not a loss just yet. But we will have to see again. This was kind of one-sided, to be honest. I think game one wasn't as one-sided, but still ended, in, of course, in 23 minutes. And of course, game two, game three. Game two was one-sided. Game three was still closer, but again, in the end, still a 3-0 for Con Gaming. And of course, we'll see them next week.
Also, I believe that game is streamed, right? You were talking about NO Phoenix
Yes.
versus Bloom. So, if I could get the producer, maybe we could actually raid them. Is that something that we could do? So, I think I think that we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for sticking with us, especially with the late start. But we're gonna get you guys right to the other side of the bracket because that was a very interesting match and it is also being streamed. So, thank you all very much.
So, see you guys next week.
Yeah, so obviously how raids work on Twitch, you'll just get over there. Unless you press the leave button or something. There's also other streams available if you look in the Discord, but
And we left, I
sorry, I wasn't ready for the last 10 seconds.
think.
Oh my goodness. All right. What a fun series.
Well, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for a 3-0.
Were you the one that predicted that Goon Squad was gonna win, or I can't remember? Or were you just saying that like